Hello, everybody, and welcome to Swim or Sink number 113. I am Kater, and I'm joined here today by my friend Weef.
Hello, hello. I've been told that we sound similar, and so I think it'd be incredibly hilarious if at one point we just started like, if for example, I said like, "Okay, Weef, what are your thoughts here?" Just like throw things up, shake things up a little bit. I think that'd be incredibly entertaining. But what also is incredibly entertaining is this matchup: Pentimento versus Meow.
Mm-hmm. And our first match that we are going to be seeing is on Undertow Spillway. First round of pools, play all three, and we were discussing this before we came on stream. Undertow Spillway, we have agreed on, is one of the map mode combinations of all time. You can definitely play it in the game.
It's interesting. I saw a tweet recently, confirming the suspicion that I've had this entire time that Undertow Spillway is really just Snapper Canal, but like worse. It's just worse Snapper. It's in a trench coat, and the trench coat makes it worse. It's missing the flank, and it's just, I don't know. It does have a similar routes though. There's a left route and a right route, and if you take the right route, you're throwing most of the time. So there's that.
Two Snapper Canals in a trench coat.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess the appearance suits it as well. It does kind of look like it was. They threw a couple tarps on it and said, "Hey, new stage."
There was an earthquake and it sank underground.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it's awkward. If there was a flank, it would remedy almost everything, but you're just forced through this massive choke point that is mid. It is two choke points, actually, in a trench coat.
The phrase massive choke point is kind of an oxymoron, don't you think?
That is true. Well, it's a choke point that is of massive proportions in terms of how choky it is.
I guess, yeah. Not the most fun to play on, but hey, you play in a tournament, you're gonna get some map mode combinations that you don't like. So we'll see how these teams deal with this location.
I spy with my little IFV try with a golden inkjet badge, and considering how awesome inkjet is right now, I'm excited to see how that goes. Overall, from MEOW, or that's Pentimento, sorry, a very, very aggressive comp with something a little bit more laid back from Pentimento running an E-leader instead.
Yeah, MEOW having that E-leader is gonna give them a lot of area control. I do want to see if they're gonna be able to use that range. Of course, they might have to be careful with, like you said, Pentimento's really fast comp, and MEOW taking that Rainmaker does sacrifice 3 of their players for it, though, but they are very quickly right back on the field. We have a Crab Tank coming out from Pentimento as well from that splash. Doesn't quite get the picks it's looking for, but it does have a lot of area control underneath it. There is the Reef Slider, nice pick there.
Nice double coming out from that Tetris, getting behind them.
Yeah.
Cutting that Wiper off, it seems. Not quite getting the pick on them, but making a massive opening for their team to all rush left. Wiper is going to try to cut them off, going to get picked off, and this is looking like it's going to be an easy first checkpoint for Meow.
Oh,
not quite.
Oh, not quite. There's the Commentator's Curse. Really nice on the side of, I believe, the colors are wrong, but I think that is Pentimento in the green there.
Yeah, a huge pick on that crab though, taking up removing so much pressure from your team, and with this inkjet, a beautiful chaining of specials here. The inkjet into the big bubble, which is going to allow them to stay there and score clams safely for quite a while, or at least get that first clam in, and they're still dwelling on the plat. Their Tetris does go down, and they are going to have to struggle to get back on it, but they might decide that their push is over here, or they might decide to just get a few more in. Looks like we are going with the former, though, backing off into mid, not pushing too far forwards, and just keeping hold here, keeping them up very, very cyan here.
Keeping that mid presence is incredibly important here. And oh, there's the Ultra Stamp getting a nice pick there, 2 down on the side of Pentimento. However, I mean, like, getting 2 power clams in on that first push is really important because that nets them a lot of points very quickly, very early on in the game. And now it is up to MEOW to try and set up, and they have to get back at this. We have 2 crabs on the map right now fighting each other, as crabs often do. And we also have that pity clam, but Pentimento's pushed forward very far forward with this aggressive inkjet, and that try is also carrying 7 clams, so they're able to immediately make a power clam. They're going to toss that to their teammate, and it looks like Pentimento's looking for another push right now. MEOW is still on the back foot. Pentimento does lose 3 of their members, though, and so MEOW is able to clean up. I think that is a delayed wipe there.
Yeah, this is exactly MEOW's chance. This is their chance to get their E-leader set up in a very annoying spot. Looks like the Splash is going to opt to pick up a pity clam. It looks like they're going for it, really. Everyone moving up. They have the clam economy in their favor, but it looks like they're not going to be able to quite yet just budge up from the plat. Perhaps, and the E-leader gets picked off, which is going to allow them to gain, Pentimento to gain so much space back in mid.
Yeah, we've got Garrett here on the crab doing a lot of nice space control there and taking out Stell on the side of MEOW as well. Nice pick there. And really, Pentimento is just doing a great job at keeping this mid control in their favor so that even when MEOW has the clam economy, they're not able to move forward. You can say they have that power clam, but it's kind of stuck back on their plat there. MEOW does lose 2 members as well, meaning they're just not going to be able to push forward, loses their last one. And so with that, Pentimento is going to push all the way up onto their plat, and another power clam goes in. You can see that big bubble as well. They've already made their way through their penalty, and now their teammates are just going to cycle back through mid and pick up clams. They don't have a lot on them though, but we have a couple more spawns in mid. That is a disconnect though on the side of MEOW, which is really, really unfortunate. I don't think our rules will allow for a replay there from what I can recall, and so I think these teams are gonna have to play it out.
Yeah, definitely way too late in the match, and that's just going to snowball Pentimento's current advantage even further. Fighting a permanent 3-4 is never a situation you want to be in, especially when you're fighting a team like Pentimento, and without their leader, they really might struggle to be able to keep space at all. If one of the numbers does go down, that 52 over there, and we are going to see a double-edged push here. Ooh, if not for that hammer, they are going to be able to sneak in, though, without the presence of that third member. Get a nice crab on plat that is going to be able to pick off, and it looks like this push is not going to be able to sustain itself very long.
Yeah, very nice and fast cleanup from MEOW there, credit to them. And so now they've got a couple power clamps to juggle. Stell here on the wipers, looking to get this pick down here. They do get caught by the toxic miss, and unfortunately not able to find what they were looking for. The Tetras here getting picked off. That's 2 down on the side of Pentimento. Nice crab tank. That is a wipeout though. That crab is going to move forward. Gets picked off, but yeah, we have, again, it's just mid being solidly in control of Pentimento, and like you said, it's just going to be really hard for MEOW to find space. Viper here, though, does get a very nice Ultra Stamp pick, and that is MEOW going to be able to take the space in mid for themselves. The Viper immediately getting taken out, though, is really difficult for them. As you can see, the crab gets canceled as well. These members just get a little bit isolated, and they're not able to support each other. And they're trying to make another clam. Yeah, Pentimento is able to get another power clam, break that barrier, and that, although we do see overtime, yeah, I believe that is game.
Yeah, they did a really good job at getting knocked out, and I did see a lot of really good teamwork. All the members of the 3 members that were left really did a good job of sticking together and coordinating. It's just so hard to get out of that scenario, especially if you're used to working with an E-leader on your team. Now suddenly you don't have that pressure anymore, and it's just kind of everything is flipped on its head, and you're playing against a fast team, which is already super disorienting. And so the set is going to go to Pentimento, but they do have a chance to take it back here, make it 2-1 on Flounder Heights zones.
Yeah, definitely. These play all threes, meaning that last game still matters a lot in the seeding. And sometimes, it's really important to play these sets to the end. I really hope that internet issue gets resolved and we don't see any more of that.
Yeah, hopefully. Unfortunately, this is the game that we play, and even if you're doing everything right, things like that just happen all the time. And, I mean, although I don't even without a disconnect on their side, it's going to be really hard for me to imagine them taking Flounder Heights zones home. They have been putting up a really good show, but unfortunately, Flounder Heights zones, Flounder Heights in general, is just it lends itself very well to these fast-paced comps, especially that Tri-Slosher that I was going to say, dominating.
Yeah, all of the height differences. I mean, that's basically what Flounder is. It's a playground for that Tri-Slosher, and they are going to have a lot of fun. But MEOW has seen what Pentimento brings. If they are able to adapt, I think it is definitely possible for them. Like you said, they've been putting up a really good fight, especially on Clam Blitz Inkblot. showing that they do have defensive capabilities. And if weapons like this, that E-liter in a mode like zones where you can take something and get that lockdown and keep hold of it really hard, if they can do that, I think that gives them a good chance here.
On the other hand, though, if they do find themselves getting locked out, they don't have a ton of tools to get back in, especially with that leader. You need those really strong specials. You need those players that are just able to dive in and make space, and it does seem like that is something that is less so their strong suit. But like you said, if they can get a hold, they are holding. The E-liter can take a lot of space on this map, even if it's not. Even if it isn't E-liter's favorite stage.
Yeah,
Ooh,
E-liter enjoyer. Yeah. I love the name of the paintbrush so much because it's like, you know what, you are going to hurt playing this weapon and you are going to like it. We are going to see a switch to the ZNF. Is that ZNF?
It is ZNF.
Yeah, ZNF splatter scope. So a little bit more mobility there, still got the range, still got the scope. You can see the wipers going for a little tiny bit of flank and energy there. And the carbon, that is not a wiper, that is a carbon. I don't know why I said wiper, but we love carbon too.
We haven't seen, I believe, wiper from that player. And here we go with Pentimento getting an early hold, and it is very hard to get an early hold on this map. However, it comes back to bite them. They overextend a little bit, perhaps, and the zone is going to flip into MEOW's favor. Just that Tri-Slosher, who is going to be able to take out the leader, and is going to be able to cause quite a bit of chaos here, getting, I believe, a triple, but finally getting taken out by the last member, still on that carbon. But the damage has been done, and Pentimento is back in mid.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stell is alive, but is forced way back, and so that inkjet play being super effective there. Their life though means they can just super jump back to a teammate. They are going to have to watch out though. We've got the Zuka here. We have the Wave Breaker, a couple super important things, and the Paintbrush. That just the huge amount of range from this thing really playing well for Toes. They do get taken out there though. Right now control is in the hands of Pentimento. The Garrett here popping a nice crab. They do have to watch out for the strikes though. Almost dies there, but the crab protects them. That's 2 down on the side of Pentimento, and so MEOW is going to take this opportunity to push forward. 2 down themselves. Actually, they are able to get their zone back and take out 3 members of Pentimento, which is really nice. That means they get zone in their favor, and they have very little penalty that they'll work through.
I do want to note how forward Maruru is playing on this Charger, and if you're playing against an aggressive team like this and, actually trying to match their pace, that is exactly what needs to be done. They're doing a really good job at staying safe, but they're still getting beautiful picks, like we see onto that crab take, which is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, that was an incredible pick. Just totally facing down that crab and saying, I don't think so. And I think this splash wall, too, is helping them a lot. It provides them with a nice little
there's a
protection.
member from behind the try.
Ooh. Yeah, that try, and just like that, I'm complimenting them, and they get taken out, and that was a full wipe on the side of MEOW, meaning control is flipped back to Pentimento. This try here gets a very nice pick, and they have that inkjet. They do get canceled early, though, so no more huge inkjet plays like last time. Still, though, with 2 down on the side of MEOW, Pentimento is holding on control, and Garrett has that crab again. We have the strikes, and I think they took out the try, so that's really good. But MEOW is going to have to watch their next steps here.
They are out of specials other than these tri-strikes that they just popped, and that does buy them way into their own zone, but their Charger gets taken out. That is their anchor. Neosplash gets the Paintbrush, and it's We are back and better than ever with hopefully no more technical issues here at SOS 113. I am here with Cater and we are moving into groups round 2. We are going to be seeing Thembo IHOP versus Heaven's Reflection.
We are indeed. And you know, little birdie told me you might know something about Thembo IHOP.
I mean, do I?
Or not you, sorry. Our streamer. I don't know why, but my brain is scrambled like an egg right now. If you looked in my head, you would see egg. Anyways, our streamer Boing was a member of Thembo IHOP, and so cool team, thumbs up. But they've got really cool players like Damp and Tux, and then Heaven's Reflection. I've also seen them around, you know, Froppy, Army, those people.
I know Army is from one of the UCF Splatoon teams, and Heaven's Reflection, I believe, is a team that's been doing pretty well for themselves as of late, going, I believe they are Low-Ink fan now? I cannot be certain. I don't have a great memory for these types of things, but we are going to be seeing how these two teams match up on Tower Control Hagglefish first.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Power Haggle. You know, sometimes this map reminds me of Starfish.
I can see that. I can actually see
Thumbs
that.
up
I think
indeed.
you're cooking something. It's Starfish without the grates, kind of. If you blink, if you squint really hard, if you blur your eyes really hard. Yeah, you got that main stage, as in the main stage, and we are going to be seeing what these two teams are running. We are going to see Heaven's Reflection running that ballpoint, running a comp that's, you know, looking pretty meta so far. And while Thembo IHOP is going to be rocking the Vanilla Blaster and the Dually Squelchers along with the Vanilla Ink Brush, and the only weapon that you ever really see from here is the T-Tech, which is certainly a really interesting comp, and I'm very interested to see how these guys play. We're going to be seeing already an Inkjet opening up, but it's not going to be able to save Heaven's Reflection from going.
Yeah, it'll be really
out of
interesting.
here.
I'm also like that really hard.
Goodness. We are never beating the technical difficulties allegations tonight as Heaven's Reflection, sorry, that's Thembo IHOP, reaches the second checkpoint here, going to be able to clear it pretty handily. And we already see that bubble from that V-Blaster coming great in handy, you know, not on the tower, but instead in a very strategic place in front of it. We are going to have to see these Dually Squelchers not quite dodge out. They are going to be able to ride the tower a little bit more, just keep up the pressure, keep up these picks against Heaven's Reflection. It's only the ballpoint for a moment who is going to be able to get a pick on the tower, but the Blaster is going to come right up and take it from them. They are approaching the last checkpoint, which is the point of no return on this map. It is the famous tower control snowball here, as these guys are getting so much special passively. 5 points left, 1 point left, and that is gonna be game, and I am all alone in this voice call now. Beautiful, beautiful. Tonight, it's 113, it's SOS 113, it's got the number 13 in it, it is cursed. We are all going to explode, I think, actually. Are you back? Are you good? I think they're
I'm back.
Are you back?
Yes?
You're, hopefully you're back, because we had a
Hello?
really, oh no. We had a really close, you're not really close, but a very dominant game.
I'm back.
Thembo IHOP.
Leave.
No! They can't hear me! This is hell. I'm screaming
No,
into
I
my
can
reflection.
hear you.
You can hear me!
Oh god.
Oh no. Here, things here are, burning. IPL headquarters is burning to the ground, actually. Really dominant game from Thembo IHOP. Unfortunately, Heaven's Reflection just kept getting picked off one by one, and Thembo IHOP, their unconventional comp seemed to work wonders. And I'm actually really curious to see what they're gonna run on Rainmaker Scorch Gorge. Scorch Gorge is another one of those maps where once you get past that checkpoint, once you get a push rolling past that checkpoint, things can snowball really fast. And so if they're gonna be able to get that in the first minute, like they did in Tower Control Hagelfish, I can see it going to them very, very handily.
Hello?
Hello.
I am
Hi.
clambering out of the wreckage of the burning IPL headquarters.
Hopefully, because it looks like Heaven's Reflection is running a very similar comp, except switching out the cooler, and I love seeing a cooler now. But we do see Devil Splatling from from Heaven's Reflection, and that is a comp after my own heart.
Yes, double splatling, my beloved. We've got both. We got both the ballpoint and the Nautilus there, so we're gonna have a lot of mobility, a lot of power coming from those splatlings. I am a splatling enjoyer as well, so really, really excited to see where this match goes, especially with that. We got the whale coming out. This forced the Nautilus back. You can see they have to go way back, especially with the bombs as well. That's gonna be 2 down on the side of Heaven's Reflection.
Ooh,
the Rainmaker
Inkjet
gets picked up. Yeah, Inkjet. We've seen a lot of very important plays from the Inkjet, and this match is no different. And they managed to avoid getting camped there. Nice drop roller. The Thembo IHOP is going to pick up that Rainmaker again, though, and just continue bringing that forward. Very nice Rainmaker pick there, and oh, there go. Oh, I thought the Nautilus fell off the stage, but they were very lucky. You got to watch out for that ballpoint, though. And it looks like the Rainmaker is going to have a straight shot because I think that was a 3 down there on the side of Heaven's Reflection. Thembo IHOP, again, able to play very fast and continue pushing this Rainmaker damp here, doing a very nice job of carrying that Rainmaker to its goal. They have a lot to push through here, though.
As they push forward, it seems like the members of Heaven's Reflection are kind of desperate. They know how fast this game can end, and so they end up kind of rushing in one by one and not getting much out of it. But now they finally have the chance they need to get this out of their base, crucially avoiding that snowball that I have been mentioning and buying themselves some time to take mid and go further on. However, the Dueling Sculptures are going to be able to hold mid, stay back, and just paint, and so the crab tank is going to be crucial in pushing these guys out of ramp to buy space for the Rainmaker to push.
Yeah, you can see just how well that displaced the members of Thembo IHOP, forcing them all over to the side here. And we're going to see yet another Inkjet here. That is just going to push the members so far back. It does get taken out, though, and that Rainmaker is still somewhere back in mid, has not pushed past 90 yet. So for all that was thrown at the Rainmaker, they still haven't gotten there. That NZAP, though, is the only one left on the field. Tux here has to wait it out. They have the tactical effects, but they might just want to wait for their team here, and I think that was a wise decision. And that does lead to a 3 down, the ballpoint being the only one remaining. So I think Tux being very wise there not to jump in and possibly get killed, allowing Heaven's Reflection to push forward.
Checkpoint being broken, though, means that if Heaven's Reflection is able to pull off something like that again, they're going to be able to really just get going. They won't be able to have to stop. They will just be able to, hold forward and keep going. And unfortunately, though, they are 2 down. But this Rainmaker is getting isolated and going to be able to get picked off by the Wiper, who is going to be able to get an additional jump camp, has their missiles ready, just needs to survive to be able to pop them, and before their team has a really good opportunity to push once their members are all back.
Yeah, just a quick pop of missiles there, probably to buy themselves a little bit more time. They are a little bit isolated, but they've got their team coming up very quickly behind them. Thembo IHOP is trying to take back control of this Rainmaker now, but with the... Oh, I was gonna say with the Wiper set up, it's making it difficult. Wiper does get taken out, though, and that is 2 down on both sides. The Thembo IHOP has that Rainmaker, but we have the Rain as well as the Crab over it, and Damp here doing their best. Member does get taken out. Crab is just looking for some fall off there. Doesn't quite get it. And that Rainmaker does an admirable job of staying alive before eventually getting taken out in this slightly awkward little corner over here.
Rainmaker has been stuck in that left spot for quite a while now, but it looks like it's finally going to make its break for it as the missiles start flying. Thembo IHOP has plenty of specials of their own to keep this back, but when the Wiper gets picked like that, it's going to be hard for them to keep going. Ballpoint down, 2 down on both sides, and the Rainmaker is a little bit isolated right now, but this Splash over here is going to be able to push up. Cooler going to be going out from the side of Thembo IHOP, going to be able to make them have a little bit more risks in their playstyle without having to super worry about it, but you do have to worry about it when you do go 2 down like that. Looks like Heaven's Reflection is going to be able to take the lead and keep on going all the way down to 10 points before they get stopped. But they this Wiper here is still in their base. They are still 2 up, and they are going to be able to maintain mid control here, it seems like.
Yeah, really, really nice push from the side of Heaven's Reflect, and just having that turf so the Rainmaker doesn't have to worry about putting it down. And like you said, I think the Tacticaler might have made Thembo IHOP a little bit too cocky, because going down still leaves you off the field, even if only for a split second. And now that bar is really high. They practically have to knock out here. Len here on the blaster has the big bubbler ready, and we have the Killer Whale coming out as well. All of these specials getting tossed out. That is a nice pick on the Inkjet, and we only have 12 seconds left right now, so that Rainmaker has to hurry. They've joined them. That's 3 down on the side of Heaven's Reflection. That Rainmaker is making a break for it, but the Nautilus comes in, gets a double. Absolutely clutch on their part now, and they're still there, and that is the game-saving play for Heaven's Reflection.
That's the Rainmaker classic. Just the absolute drama that can come from Rainmaker is insane. Heaven's Reflection did such a significantly better job here. A lot of improvement. They learned how to play, and I believe that Wiper really helped out a lot. They struggled a bit in the first minute when Thembo IHOP was getting their first push in. It seemed like they were taking a lot of individual fights. As the game went on, you saw them pairing up more and more, and that's what happens if you start pairing up and start really coordinating. You get those beautiful wins like we saw right there.
I mean, yeah, and again, we also saw a lot of coordination from Thembo IHOP in that last-ditch push, especially like the 3 specials going out, that blaster swiftly taking out the Inkjet, all really important, and they basically had the same thing going for them. The Nautilus just came in at the exact wrong moment. So, you know, one push, and that's how Rainmaker ends. So, we're gonna wrap this set up now 1-1 on Clam Blitz Manta Maria, or Manta Maria?
Manta, I think.
Manta Maria.
I mean, because it's the manta ray. I've never heard anyone say manta ray.
No, sometimes I say manta just for no reason.
It's like the Mako Mart effect.
Yeah.
Mako Mart. Mako Mart, by the way. It's Mako Mart. Anyway, it's weird how some of the most middling maps in 2 became some of the best in 3. I actually really enjoy Clam Blitz on Manta. It's one of my favorite map modes. Feels really balanced, even if I do fall off cut every single time. Without fail.
I think the opening up of that area under the basket is really important, just because it felt so cramped in 2. When, you try and go and immediately just get taken out by one singular bomb that got thrown down there. So I think having that area be a little bit more open, a little bit easier to breathe, access, play in is really, really important. But keeping cut, very important little push point there, even if you do always fall off of it.
Yeah, and of course it is Clam Blitz, which is the one and only mode where you have that block still, where you're able to take that that flank on plat. Or back up on it, whichever, suits you, which just opens it up so much, and there's a lot you can do if you're one of these faster teams that really, it takes advantage of the flanks that you have available. We do see the return of the double splatling. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, but this is a different map mode. It's going to be interesting to see if they're able to make it work, while Thembo IHOP has the comp, they like it, and they're sticking to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, in my totally unbiased opinion, double splatling is not broke, and so it does not need fixing. But that is fair. I think that ballpoint will have a lot of fun though with the range and the sheer amount of space that it can control. And of course, we've seen a lot of Inkjet plays. We already got an early Inkjet pop from Army here. A little bit more for getting space and also getting that nice pick on AJ there. We have the Killer Whale also coming out from Thembo IHOP. That is 2 down as their blaster gets taken out. We have the Ink Storm coming in here. And Echo doing their best on the Wiper, but unfortunately not able to get the pick there. This T-Tech working out really well for Tux here. And we got all of these strikes coming out in mid too.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like it's kind of a stalemate now. Heaven's Reflection is a bit on the back foot as Thembo IHOP is moving in, popping that wave breaker in their bunker there. Looks like it's going to get shredded pretty fast, but Froggy over there, Froppy, trades their life for that wave breaker, and on the Wiper there, Echo also gets taken down. And so with the Clams at their advantage, with the ballpoint taken down early, it looks like the Knot is just going to be barely able to hold this, especially as they get 3 down though. This Nautilus, I think, is the king of defense, actually.
Yeah, I mean, last match and this match here, just amazing clutch plays, even really early on in the match. And so Thembo IHOP, for as much momentum as they put behind that push, wasn't quite able to get anything in. Killer Well coming out from Heaven's Reflection, as well as that Ink Storm to buy them some time, buy them some space in mid here. They are, again, still a little bit on the back foot. You can see the Wiper there trying to do something funny. They're... against Damp is just waiting for somebody to drop right there, and I don't know if Ego knows that Damp is there.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say doesn't matter. Figures it out pretty early though, and able to fire off those missiles. The Inkjet coming as well, so Heaven's Reflection is able to take control of a lot of mid here, and you can see Ego there also going up high on that left side, ready to meet Damp. I think those two have it out for each other, and meanwhile we do have a lot of nice mid control for Heaven's Reflection.
Yeah, Ego does get taken down there, but they did draw a lot of aggro to the right side, and I will note that we are already halfway through this game, and we have not seen a concession on defense from either of these teams. It is still 0-0 on the scoreboard, or 100-100, however you say. However, Heaven's Reflection is looking pretty good for themselves. Quite a lot in their favor. The jump gets taken out. The ballpoint is in Inkjet, going to be able to get a pick, and that is 3 down, essentially, especially as this ballpoint keeps getting picks with that Inkjet, doing an absolutely phenomenal job.
Whoa.
Bomb kill goes out from the brush onto Ego. Once again, these guys hate each other, apparently. They are going to back out, but that is a nice explosive push to kick things off, only 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I think Damp is like exclusively a brush player, or almost exclusively a brush player, so the very nice scale makes sense. I think, if I do recall correctly. Heaven's Reflection has another one of the power clans. I don't know where they pulled that out from, but we have the Wave Breaker going up on the center grate there, as well as we had a couple other specials go out. Killer Whale on this side of Heaven's Reflection, and they are, I mean, it looks like they're just trying to go for another push, even though it might not be necessary. They have a huge amount of clans, especially when you consider that Thembo IHOP has none, and I feel like they might just be collecting them just so that Thembo IHOP can't have them.
Yeah, definitely. They are 2 down right now, but
oh my goodness,
Nautilus is still there.
And the Nautilus,
hello, okay. Able to get the super clam and 2 more to boot with that push. Now that does buy them a lot of time. It does give them IHOP an extra putty if they do try to pick up their current one, which they do. However, they are able to keep mid. They're just distracting. It's just definitely a move that's going to make the enemy team scramble 100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought they saw the Nautilus, but maybe they just didn't expect the Nautilus to run directly for the push. Damp takes out Ego, Froppy takes out Damp, AJ takes out Froppy. We got a lot of bloodshed. I mean, that's basically a 1v1 on the field right now. We got Len here on the blaster attempting to go as far forward as they can. They have the power clam, and Tux on the other side has both of them. So it is likely that we'll be seeing overtime. Tux is going to bring out those strikes, try and clear out the area around basket, but those 3 members are just going to pop back, and here's where the Splatling comes in handy. You just have this constant barrage of shots. Len there gets 1, we have 2, and that is a wipeout though. So we now have a 10-point difference. That power clam is going to die. Unfortunately, it only just made it over cut, and that is the set.
Heaven's Reflection taking, the mini reverse sweep, but that is a far cry from how they played in not week 1. I don't know why I said week 1. In the game, I almost said day 1. And in game 1, where they got knocked out instantly. They were just able to figure out a comp that worked for them. The Nautilus also. The Nautilus is insane on the defense. We saw so many clutches from them and a beautiful fist bump as well. Just walking, like on defense, when you're walking into a Nautilus, it's like walking into a brick wall. It's DPS, it's, shot velocity. It's insane. Especially on these maps that have these thin choke points, the Nautilus was just able to hold them the entire time. And we also saw the Wiper Deco, who was playing very, very aggressively for a Wiper Deco, but they made really good use of it, popping their missiles and then comboing up with a teammate and pushing up with them. That's exactly what they need to be doing, and it worked out for them extremely well.
Yeah, I feel like, on that ballpoint player, I feel like we almost saw more of their Inkjet than their ballpoint, just because...
That's how it is!
They had a lot of really nice plays that worked out very well for them. Well, what a great match. I love seeing team growth over a set like this. Fun fact: SOS was actually just a really long league, and we just haven't told you guys. That's why you said we won.
I mean, if you want to consider it that way, I mean, you certainly can, although I don't think it's factually accurate. But we are going to be
Yeah.
taking a short little break as we go on to our next match in round 3.
Hello, gamers! Welcome back to Swim or Sink number 113. If you're just joining us, I'm Kater, and I'm joined today by Weef.
Oh, we are joining here after our very, very short, not long at all break here with Park versus Smithereens. I'm not sure if I know anything about these two teams, but I am excited for a good match. Although the map that we're starting on, it's contentious on whether it's good or bad. What are your thoughts on Umami Ruins? I am curious.
I actually haven't played this game in like a long time.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't have enough opinions on it, but I assume you have played it since you were on a team.
I think it's fun. I think it's okay. I think it's all right, actually. At least, it's pretty open on the sides. There's a little bit of cover. And it doesn't feel cramped. You have high ground and mid. It's interesting. It's an interesting map. And of course, once you get the lockout going, it gets kind of miserable. But before then, it's actually kind of fun, and I do enjoy it.
Well, sometimes. I mean, considering we're on zones, I don't know if we'll have a lot of time before somebody has to endure a miserable lockout, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it also is a double zones map. I am genuinely a verified double zones map hater. Though this one's all right. This one's fine. It feels, it doesn't feel like ripping teeth out to have to get both sides. Actually,
yeah, it could be much worse. Oh wait, no, Advocate. I feel like I think I know who that person is.
I also recognize now that I see them. I believe these are some members of former Micklin Heroes on the side of Smithereens.
Yeah, there we go.
Unfortunately disbanded. However, they are going to be running double inkjet, playing rapid deco, which isn't, not something you see too often now. The other side is running a very aggressive comp with the cooler, with the tetras, with the ballpoint, and they are currently being pushed back here by Smithereens all the way into their spawn. Although this Tetris player is surviving, and the inkjet is going to come out and allow them to get a few picks and allow them to start taking space back. Right zone is capped in their favor now.
Yeah, I have my eye on that machine pick too. Wonder how the Booyah Bomb's gonna help them there. Of course, machine, not the best weapon at painting ever, but considering we have the end zap, I don't think they're gonna worry about that very much. And there is the machine getting that the Booyah Bomb off. We have the inkjet coming out from Smithereens. We have I thought I saw something else, but it does look like the Tetris went down, and so did the machine. So with that, Smithereens is going to be able to take back control of that zone, forcing jump outs on the side of Park. They are going to be able to come back to regroup. Their Tetras did go down, though, so they're going to have to wait on that. And with that, they have to build their special, so they have the inkjet, but the killer whale is going to come out from Smithereens. Cash here on the Tetras, trying to look for a little bit of an in on the side here. We have the inkjet coming out, as well as the tentacooler there, but the area of effect from that rapid is going to make it more difficult to find areas around those corners that they really want.
Yeah, this first solid hold here allows the Tetris to get one down. And unfortunately, Lux over here on the 52 able to use the wall to just, really take advantage and take that 1v1 handily. Yeah. Able to really save them as they are going to be able to immediately start pushing back in. Along with that inkjet, they are going to be able to take out the Tetris right zone. Is being contested over there by Lex, who is able to get another pick onto that machine, and the zone is contested right after they lose lead. But with the hold that they are currently establishing, it's not too long until I believe that they're going to be able to start approaching that very fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already have another inkjet coming out here, and considering that now that I recognize Lex, I'm not surprised that that's the Wall 52, because they are very, very, very good with that. I've watched some insane moments with that too. But anyways, that penalty is going to work through. Lead is back on the side of Smithereens, and you can see now that they're pushing out Advocate there on the inkjet, trying to get the same thing done. Lex, they're able to hide in that splash wall and get the pick on the machine as well. Cash is dropping down, but Lex gets another pick, and they are just all the way up there. Advocate looking to try and keep their turf, but they are going to get forced back by the ballpoint on the side of Smithereens. And now that timer is almost to the single digits, and they really need to get something done here. But with two of their members down and this killer whale tying Advocate up and taking out their members, that is going to be a decisive match for Smithereens.
Overall, though, Park did, get a good setup going for quite a while, but
decisive knockout, maybe not decisive match.
Yeah, no. Once they were going, but they were able to get back into the into the zone, able to take the lead back for a second, and so I believe that in these future matches, it may be closer than we think.
Yeah. I mean, still though, that end lockout, all those 2 picks from Lex and Advocate getting all tied up with that killer whale, meaning they weren't able to continue paying the zone. That was just the end. What clinched the match for them.
Yeah, 100%. Although, you know, this is a map mode that we see a ton in map lists. It Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard. It is a snowball fest, in my opinion. Not particularly a fan on it, and I believe that if once one of these teams, whether it be Smithereens or whether it be Park, gets a solid hold, and you're just gonna see it all downhill from there, as is fashion with Tower Control.
Yeah, especially in like a lot of these Tower Control maps. The snowballing really kicks in after that second checkpoint, and just especially here, once you get through that, it's just really it's really hard to stop the tower after that, because it just seems to you blink and it's at the ending.
I'm wondering here if they are going to end up running the Booyah bomb again, because that Booyah can be very, very crucial on a match like, or a mode like Tower Control. However, the machine, you still see it occasionally, and I believe it still can work, but it is a shadow of its former self after it got knocked to the stratosphere over several different patches.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if we were in 2, I would say yes, machine is an incredible pick, and of course, on Sturgeon works very well, but like you said, those patches, shell of its former self. We might still see it come out here though, because it can still work. And yes, we will indeed see it. We've got the wiper, rapids on both sides now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest at getting inkjets out, but the inkjets are still a fantastic special to have on a good main weapon with the torpedoes to poke to boot. And although we do see the wiper originally go down, these tri-strikes are going to allow Smithereens to push further and further in. But the crab tank here is going to be able to put a damper on those plans, most likely, not quite getting any picks, but going to be able to force them out and buy a little bit of time. They are unfortunately going to go down, 2 down, 3 down at this point. It is just that spot who was forced to back all the way up, and now is where this starts. Special is going out. We see both the inkjet and the tri-strikes ready from Smithereens, ready to be used at any moment, like right here. Buying space for Lex up here, basically turning his 1v1 into a 2v1, and Lex is just going for the 2v1 on their half. Yep. Already so many players down. This last checkpoint is here. And that's a wipe.
And there's the wipeout. You can just see how far up Lex is. It's basically spawn camping at this point. The wall, the killer whale, that is going to be the knockout. And I do really like what you said by basically turning Lex's solo push into 2v1s or 2v2s instead of 1v1s or 1v2s, because that far off support, I mean, we had the specials coming in, the strikes, the inkjet, and that gave Lex so much space to work with and so much extra chip damage that they basically became unstoppable.
Wow, I can't wait to see round 2. Oh wait, it's already over. Yeah, that was a really, really fast match. Rainmaker Museum is also, like, I feel like the dynamic here is going to remain pretty much the same. Zones, it's sometimes, you know, zones can be an outlier in how a set goes, because zones is a lot easier to get back into. With a push, you don't have to actually advance all that much, you just have to be decent at holding. But unfortunately, tower, like all the other modes are different in that you do have to push really far forwards, and that is what Smithereens is very, very good at doing. They're able to get those advantages super fast, super good special coordination like we saw, and so if I had to bet, this is probably going to be a pretty fast match in their favor, but it's also Rainmaker. There's always that wild card factor to it.
Yeah, Rainmaker is always like, you know, there's, like you said, wild card. There's a little bit of something, a Rainmaker moment can happen. But like you said, Smithereens' real strong suit is just being able to push forward so far, especially Lex on that gal, putting out so much damage and continuing to use that wall just like K52 had in Splatoon 2.
Yeah,
oh man, I haven't said K52 in months. And it's just dawning on me.
Almost 9 months to be exact, probably.
Yeah.
If I had to wager a guess. Looks like the ballpoint is returning, and on the side of Smithereens, Lex is opting to instead run that 96 gal, which is a weapon that I personally love to watch. Kraken is, you know, it's only on wall. Oh yeah, it's still got the wall. Still basically just it's just a souped up 52 gal if you count if you consider souped up to be just worse. But it's The Kraken is so fun to watch here, and you don't get to see it all that often, it being only on 3 weapons. Now, it looks like Smithereens is going to be able to take mid pretty handily, getting all that paint up here and taking these fights. Lex is going to be able to make really good use of those 96 gals, really threatening kill time, really threatening damage, and be able to push in, and then get the Kraken to push in even further, doing what a Kraken does best, and chasing after Advocate as if his life depends on it.
Well, it really does, and although Advocate does not go down, they are forced to abandon their post at the checkpoint, meaning Smithereens very quickly breaks through that checkpoint. And I think that the additional range on that 96 is also helping a lot here. We have the missiles coming out from Smithereens, and you saw that Zuka as well. They're just that Rainmaker does not reset, though, just like it looked like it. And they get a few more points on the board, down to 45 now. 2 down, though, on the side of Smithereens, meaning that Park is going to be able to get their feet back under them a little bit. Lex is trying to get that Inkjet down, but they do not succeed. And we have the Inkjet actually coming out from the side of Smithereens. Cash able to get that pick, very nice there. And Park is able to get themselves back out into mid a little bit.
Yeah, this
ooh, nice Reef Slater.
They're gonna be able to get a pick on Azuna, and one of the jumps in is over there to Lex, who does get the pick, or the Rapid gets the pick, and the Rapid is also gonna pop that Inkjet, forcing players out. They do get the checkpoint, crucially, but the amount of picks that they got, the amount of control that they have is not going to be really sufficient to push past that. As I say that, though, we do see the Tetras breaking in, 2 down on the side of Smithereens. It might be, something might be going here, and Zap is going to pop a cooler, and it looks like the Rainmaker is going to pick up as the Reef Slider goes, and yet again, they try to go for the jump. They get the lead. I didn't even know that was something you can do.
Yeah, I don't know if you can swim over that, but I guess that is a little cheese strategy. I mean, today we both learned, I guess, getting the lead, and of course they do have to retreat. That Kraken is on Lex is going to take them out, but yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. And I think the plays from that Tetra were really, really important there, just able to continue to have the presence, keep that Rainmaker shield from getting popped. Lex, though, showing again the ability to hide in the wall. We got the missiles as well as the Inkjet coming out. And that Rainmaker is just going to push forward. All of that is going to be really important. The Rapid Blaster does go down, opting to take a little bit of the higher side here. We have the Cooler go out, though, and
Not
3
quite the
points.
lead.
Yeah, not quite. That difference is 3 points right there. That Cooler really nice. Pop does take... Oh, yeah. Pop taking out, and Lex just using the Kraken to make a big trail, and now we're all the way down to 6. I was going to say Pop taking out a couple of the members of Park might have honestly been the deciding factor there. Even though they were under Cooler, they just weren't present to make sure the Rainmaker didn't take the lead.
Yeah, it's really the pressure is on for Park here. They have to make magic happen. They have to make magic happen the second time. Once again, that first push was already very, very difficult for them. It seemed like they're struggling to get, just the exact right opportunity. One of the members of Smithereens is going to be able to jump back, and now it's just a big fight to see who can get mid and who's going to be able to initiate the next push, because Smithereens is not going to want to lay off the gas too much. They can sit back and breathe a little bit and try not to take too many risks, but they do still want to keep the pressure up on Park in order to keep them at bay. And so now, with one of the members of Smithereens going down, that the Rapid, it looks like Park may be starting to get an advantage, but I'm having to bet this Inkjet might have something to say about it.
Yeah, the Inkjet definitely has something to say. You can see that member all the way over there is a little bit isolated, gets taken out by the Ends-Up. The Ends-Up's out themselves as well, and that's not what you want to see, because now Park only has one of those 3 specials that they had up, and their Tetras are still down. The machine goes down, meaning they won't have that Booyah, and now control is back in the hands of Smithereens. Advocate is doing their best to try and get anything that they can, but when you can't approach the Rainmaker when you need to in these last 30 seconds, that's the most important part here. the low ink is really... The sound is annoying me, but we have the Booyah Bomb finally coming out, but we have the missiles as well, and Park is able to pick up the Rainmaker. If they don't get taken out before the 10 seconds, then we will see overtime, but it's going to be so difficult for them. They don't have that special that Advocate was building up. They don't have that Inkjet, and that is a really important special. Their Tetras go down, and they are all alone right now. They're getting attacked by an Inkjet themselves. We have the push to them, though. The Inkjet does get taken out. The Lex, though, hiding in that wall on the side, and another Inkjet is just forcing Advocate. All of those missiles, unfortunately, they just weren't able to get past all of that.
Man, those last 20 seconds felt like we had an
Yeah.
100% uptime of that inkjet. You know, first the rapid, then the ballpoint, then the rapid somehow was able to get enough paint to get it again, which is actually insane. But another great showing from Smithereens here. Exactly what is to be expected of a team. I'm not sure if it's an official team or if it's a pickup of this caliber, but we really did see some close games from Park there.
Yeah, well, really nice plays that we saw from both teams, and of course, Smithereens, just incredible amount of power from them. Lex on that gal, I keep talking about it, but every time I see Lex play, I just am in awe of what can be done with a gal.
Oh, 100%. That was a great set, but we are going to be taking a short little break, I believe, as we move on. Actually, hopefully short this time, as we move on to the last round of. Oh wait, was it last? Oh yeah, that was last round.
Yeah, that was the last round. We've
round
got
one.
we've got Top Cut soon, and I believe that means we will be handing the mic off. Yes.
That's a fantastic question. I don't know. Tonight's been
actually,
weird.
no, it does not. It
Yeah,
does
yeah,
not
yeah.
mean. Okay, that's my bad. I tried to do a fancy segue and it didn't work. So
It's
the two
okay.
of us will, in fact, be back in just a few minutes for round one of Top Cut. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back to the bracket stage of SOS 113. We realize it is. Oh goodness. Sorry, error on my part. We are not beating the allegations of having technical issues. Anyway, we're gonna be watching Los Inklings versus TWILIGHT'S CRUZADA, and here in Great White, Los Inklings beating out Shadow Wizard Running Gang to get their spot here, and I believe they're probably very excited to be here in Great White.
Hey, I would be too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's an exciting place to be, even if you know that your opponents are going to be very scary. And speaking of very scary opponents, TWILIGHT'S CRUZADA, a well-established team. Sorry, TWILIGHT'S CRUZADA is -1 because one of the members is not here. Apparently, they most likely have a sub. Still, though, very, very foreboding team to be fighting against. But Los Inklings probably riding off the high of that 3-0 victory against, a decently good project, is probably, they're gonna be going into this feeling pretty good.
Yeah, again, having that sort of momentum probably is, a really good mental state to be in. And of course, I'm sure we all know how much of a mental game this is as well as a skill game. So, we're gonna be beginning with Clam Blitz on Scorch Gorge here.
Yeah. This is a controversial take, or at least I think it is. Some of my other co-commentators give me grief every time I say I like Clam Blitz Gorge, actually. I think it's pretty fun. The choke is not that bad. You have that alternate route to kind of pincer people on over the grates, or at least if you're a spotlighting player like me, you do. Run speed up for the win. And, it doesn't feel too snowbally. You can't really get locked out super hard. It's challenging, but not impossible to get back out. It's an interesting stage, and I have a bit of affinity for it. I just like Clam Blitz in general. I am a Clam Blitz enjoyer.
Yes, I too am a Clam Blitz enjoyer. And, I think that's a fair take. I won't give you grief for that, hopefully. And, I honestly a fair take. Clam Blitz also fun. Okay. Well, I do wonder what we will see here. Is there anything specific? Although I've seen these teams around, I don't know too much about them, like players-wise.
Yeah, I'm actually, I think maybe TWILIGHT'S CRUZADA has a brush player, but I can't be certain. It's been a while since I've looked into them a lot, and I believe Los Inklings has a Splatling player, so they might enjoy this stage quite a lot.
Well, we will just have to wait and see, I suppose.
Oh yes, and Krakenmare also. Sorry, I just remembered. Krakenmare also plays. I believe rollers and brushes.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them playing rollers a lot, also. Just like things that used to be considered rollers in Splatoon 1 or whatever, that gained a distinction. Whatever, having a good time here tonight. I'm excited to see. I love Clam Blitz action. It feels so good in Splatoon 3 just because of the quality of life changes they've added. I love the basket jingles, but just in general, compared to every other mode, there's a billion different ways to set up a push in Clam Blitz. It's not like Tower Control where you ride the tower and you clear in front of it, or Rainmaker where you ride the tower and clear in front of it, or Spot Zones where you just paint the zone. It's generally a lot of control to the players, and where there's control to the players, there is ways to make it unique to you.
Yeah, I think that like you said, quality of life stuff, but also for me, mainly the whole, switch to 8 clams and then the spawns in groups of 3 really just makes things feel a lot better. I'm not entirely sure why, but oh look, there's a coordinated splash tags. That's so cool. Or not splash tags.
They might not even have a sub, apparently. They might just be without. I believe Keto is missing from this roster.
Maybe they're just
Yeah, we see Krakenmare on the brush, like we said, as well as a double bucket comp from the side of Los Inklings, something that's been really favored. And they do have the ballpoint there for a backline, while TWILIGHT'S CRUZADA is rocking backless, already getting picks, though.
Yes, indeed. That's 3 down on the side of Los Inklings already, and so TWILIGHT'S CRUZADA is going to be able to push up really far here. And you can see they already have a good amount of clams. They're just going to quickly make that. Oh, their main claim carriers does go down, though. Nice Inkzuka coming back to take the area. So they did have the opening, but it is going to get closed off pretty quickly. We have the Killer Whale going out, though. That's 2 down on the side of Twilight's CRUZADA, but that is a very nicely placed Booyah Bomb there. Kraken on the brush here, nice assists there, and also able to form a Power Clam and has that Killer Whale as well. So now Los Inklings are the ones in the advantage. Hammy is going to have that Inkjet as well, and we've seen how well that can play out. However, though, Twilight's CRUZADA is all on the board now, and waiting.
Yeah, they are taking back mid here, getting 2 crucial picks. It is only Slug out there in mid, and they're going to get picked off really soon, which is going to open the way with a delayed wipe for a Twilight's CRUZADA push. They are currently gathering clams. They only have that clam that they're about to throw in, though. They need to be able to go back and get their economy a bit in check here if they want to make this a sustained push, and they also keep maintaining their specials, all that. But they can just continue to get picks. Los Inklings a bit on the back foot here, trying to go in and get these individual fights here. Hammy finally getting the pick on twice there. And now able to move back into mid. Overall, not a bad defense after all, and definitely one that they can recover from with 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that was some impressive footwork, though. Not often it takes a try that long to get a pick. Now with that, you can see 9 clams on the side of Los Inklings to 6 on Twilight's CRUZADA, both of these teams. We're in a relatively good game here. We have the specials coming out on both sides, and a lot of them as well. Twilight's CRUZADA got that, they got the Tacticooler, I believe. So that was also a really nice blaster direct there. 2 down on the side of those Inklings means that Twilight is going to be able to push up further, and they have the Booyah Bomb, which is again going to clear out that area underneath the basket. They have the Power Clam. This is all setting up for a very nice push on their end. Yeah, great barrier break there, and they have more clams going in. That 2 down on those Inklings is really going to prevent them from coming back in. Hammy on the try drops down, and then you can see Slug back there. Hammy really nicely using this height to their advantage, but does get taken out. We have the Inkzuga that is going to push back the Rapid as well, but they have the Inkjet, and that's going to let them go into the skies. We are down to the single digits right now. We are at 8. All of these members continuing to get the clams, and there it is. There is our KO.
Beautiful push. Twilight's CRUZADA doing such a great job at keeping Los Inklings back and at bay, not able to push past mid, I believe, a single time, just based on how often that they were just able to get them 3 down, 4 down, just those nice delayed wipes that just consistently got really led them to victory.
Yeah, that consistency, like you said, very, very nice, and that really long I love seeing sustained pushes in Clamblitz, because a lot of the time it's, okay, we're going to throw the clams and we're going to get a few more in, and then people go down or they're forced to retreat. But just having this consistent barrage of clams and specials and ink, really not letting Los Inklings get set up, even in their own base, is very impressive.
Yeah, it really is just a lot of overall control, good fights taken, etc., etc. Mechanically, you could tell that there was a lot going for them there. But mechanics is not all it goes into it. We did see some really nice, 2v1s taken from Los Inklings. That's where a lot of their picks came from, was taking really good fights that were in their favor. And if they can continue to do that, the game was actually not, it wasn't a complete knockout. It took a while for Twilight's CRUZADA to get the momentum, to get that big sustained push going. And on Splatoon's Mako Mart, you don't have to push as far ahead. You can just kind of maintain the zone as much as you can, and not have to worry about having to push all the way into the enemy base in order to get points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, again, also Mako, be a really nice place, especially for the try. So I think that will definitely play to their favor there. And, everybody's got their fair share of experience on Splat Mako. Still the bread and butter, the comp community, really.
Yeah, it's a very level playing field. You can make a lot work here. It's a good, a nice flanks, open but not too open. It's just a nice middle ground. It's really is not a masterpiece of a map, but it's gonna be top tier in terms of what maps competitive players want to actually play on for a good while longer, I think, at least if this current trend keeps going on of maps that are a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's see.
Yeah, I believe that the try that we saw out of Los Inklings is gonna really have a fun time here. The double inkjet, did work fairly well for them. They did a lot of distracting with it. Just not quite able to get the picks or, you know, apply the pressure that they needed in the end, but still, I could definitely see a weird, you know, take from this. I could see them taking this home.
Yes. All right. Well, here we are. We have the T-Tech, and then on the side of Twilight we have got a machine here. That try, of course, still staying there. Brush, unfortunately, immediately going to go down, as well as the try. That's 3 down. Oh, we have a 1v1 right here, and the machine is going to become victorious. So, I don't know how everybody died. I would love to watch that back and see, but that was a lot of bloodshed very early on there. But Ori here coming out victorious from everybody on the map and is going to go for a very nice pick using the surge up the wall to get that nice pick. They do unfortunately get run over. That is 2 down on the side of Twilight right now. So Los Inklings does have that's three down, yeah. And Los Inklings has nice control of this. They're all set up on this right stack here, and you can see they're going to push up for a little lead there. We also have the Inkjet taking a hold of this left side here. The try does get taken down, though, so they won't have that line of defense. And Kraken there on the brush, narrowly managing to avoid getting taken out themselves. They have the whale as well, so that is going to protect this stack right here. But Kraken falls to the whale of the other team.
Although not too lost, as they are, Los Inklings are going to be pushed onto defense. They are still 3 up. One of them does jump out, saving their life, but the Tri-Strikes are also additionally going to come out. The machine is chasing and eventually getting picked off here, and it looks like Los Inklings are already kind of back in here, taking the zone back before the Tri-Strikes has the chance to get the lead back.
God, I didn't realize just how much swing speed Kraken was running, but that with the Ninja is definitely working out for them. That's another 3 down on the side of Twilight, 2 down on the side of Los Inklings right now, but again, they have this control, and they are working through the penalty that they have. The Blaster here doing their best to do a little bit of poking, but without their teammates on them, they can't really jump down on themselves. Now that their team is here, they're going to be able to use that range to poke. Very nice pick there. A second, that is a great combo, and that is...
Oh, no!
Oh, they get taken out. The bomb pick from Kraken. Kraken is not letting anything slide past them this match, and Los Inklings was able to get that all the way down to 33. They are doing very well here.
Yeah, they are, you know, forced back. Their zone is being captured.
The flank.
They are 2 down, but the flank does get paid off. Can it get paid off even more? It does not. And ooh, only the rapid left on the zone, but I'm sure that they're going to be getting jumps in here. Yeah, already back in. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for Los Inklings to rebound from this. That was a full wipe, and the try over there takes a fight that ends up being a 1v3, goes down, just kind of on the right side of this map here. The Los Inklings kind of, you know, taking some unadvised fights, but they still managed to brute force their way back into mid. Not quite able to get the zone back just yet, but I can see it coming. There it is. The crafting can back them off, but and as well as the expert level special coordination also popping that inkjet, but they're still here. Crucially, they're you know, CRUZADA is so close to getting that lead back. Only the penalty left basically before they get it, but you know, Los Inklings are putting up a hell of a fight.
Yeah, very nice footwork here from Slug, able to get that pick as well, but that penalty is very close to running out, and I think what's really been causing problems this match is that rapid, I believe, iCarly got. The the zone is going to go back to Los Inklings for just a split second there. You can see Slug trying to take on a fight, does get 1 pick, 2 down on the side of Los Inklings. The machine is down the side of Twilight. That's 3 down. Kraken, the only one remaining, and they're not going to be able to do anything on their own. Or, well, not... Okay, well, they will be able to do stuff on their own, I guess. I have been proven wrong. And we have the whale coming out. That lead, though, is going to flip to Twilight, but immediately we've got those strikes on the zone.
Shit.
Oh, yes, they take the zone. I didn't realize that could happen. We do have 3 down. That was a delayed wipe on the side of Los Inklings. The try being only 1 upright for a second. That penalty is buying them time, though, but you can see just how much of the map that Twilight's CRUZADA has, and it's going to be really difficult for them to get in. 1 pick, 2 picks. Kraken is the only one left. That is a wipeout on the side of Los.
And with the crab tank on the side of Twilight's CRUZADA, it's going to be nearly impossible for Los Inklings to make it back in here and get the zone capped alive. There are 5 ticks left on the clock. Members going down left and right, and that's going to be Twilight's CRUZADA taking the set 2-0.
Oh man!
What a hell of a game!
What a pushback from Los Inklings. They said, we are going to make this a fight. We are going to drag you down kicking and screaming. And wow, they did that.
Yeah, no, proving that, they really actually did deserve their spot in Great White this time. It wasn't just a fluke. They can fight with the best of them, even if they aren't able to take it out in the end. Put up, it really was close. I actually was, I wasn't pleasantly surprised. I expected them to do a lot better, but they still, kind of knocked me out.
Yeah, it was very nice defense from their part, and we saw some great plays as well. The 3 downs on Twilight, very nice moments.
Anyway, that is going to be it from us. I believe we are going to be handing it off to some other excellent commentators as we move on further and further into top 8 of this wonderful SOS.
Yes.
It's been lovely. Cater, where can they find you?
You guys in the audience can find me at Cater_ on Twitter, where I post art and talk about the things I cast. What about you?
You can also find me on Twitter at WeefSlider. We've had one heck of a night from all the all the technical issues. I think not a single person in this call right now has not had technical issues. Actually, no, Boeing has been doing a great job. Love you, Boeing. But as we go on, like we said, switching off, that's gonna be it for us.
We're gonna hand the mic to Jeannie and Toma. I don't know.
Ooh, that's
I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry.
That's a great combo. I'm sure
it is a great combo. So you guys are gonna want to stick around for the rest of this stream. With that, we are going to come right back with top 8, and those other guys will see you in a couple of minutes.
Have a good one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SOS 113. We are here, top 8. I am Genie, joined by Toma.
I'm here. I didn't know if you were gonna say my name, but
Well,
I am here.
I want. So the first time I always do it, I have the person say their name, so then the stream gets to hear what they say their name as. So then me saying Toma doesn't make everyone like, oh, he says that's Toma, and then if I say it, just like if you say Toma or Tomo, but it's still Toma. It's easy.
Toma.
I know it's easy. Your name's easy. For most people, it's not as easy.
That's so real, but you know me very well, and you know, I'm so excited to be here with you, Jeannie. I know you're having a very special today. Today is your birthday, and we're gonna be kicking that off, this great birthday cast of OctoPi versus Smithereens.
Oh, this is gonna be a fire set. I can tell you that right now. First map, what did I say? Spot zones. It's not paddling pool out of my brain. It's not zones only. We got all the modes here. We got Rainmaker Manta. I'm excited to see some Rainmaker today. I haven't seen much Rainmaker today.
You know, it's been a while since I've seen a Rainmaker Manta. It's one of the stages that I love, but I just feel like I've seen disappearing from like tournament map lists for some reason. But I think it's such a fun map. You know, though I might be a little bit biased as a Splatling user because it's quite fun to use up there on those greats, Jeannie.
Don't tell me. You don't have to tell me twice, because as a fellow resident Splatoon user, it's a glorious map. As long as you know how to platform. Luckily, with a new Mario game coming up, so I can work on my platforming skills in the right to go for that right leap.
Yeah, I'm still behind on all the news, Jeannie. We were just talking about this. I've been at work all day. So right after SOS, you know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be watching that direct back. But I did hear, you know, some Splatoon news, Jeannie. I heard some ice cream defeats coming up.
What team are you picking?
I'm going strawberry, Jeannie.
All right, so there is no chocolate, so my team said it's anti-Nintendo to have no chocolate.
Yeah, I agree.
So then we said, which one is the closest one? Mint chip, because it has chocolate in it. So all you chocolate lovers have to pick mint chip because it's the only one that has chocolate. So you get the mint and the chocolate.
You know, I can't personally agree with that, but I'm sad. The Neapolitan was right there. It's stolen from us, Jeannie.
Yeah, it's for me. I, as an avid former mint chip enjoyer, until he was introduced to the real Canadian treasure, which is Moose Tracks ice cream.
I've heard great things.
It's phenomenal. When there's the Splatoon major eventually, when I kick Siren hard enough to say make the Splatoon major in Canada a thing, we will all have Moose Tracks.
I'll be there. You know, I'll be on the. I'll go commentate grands for a thing of Moose Tracks. That could be my payment. You know, we don't get paid here, but I'll do anything for ice cream.
Hey yo, that'll be a good one. Yeah, this is a fire map list in my opinion. For me, I love these three stages. Whether it be Manta being so pretty, Museum being so pretty, and Hagglefish. Maybe it's because they all have water. Who knows?
Yeah, I love all of them too, but we're getting ready to go into this game. Jeannie, seeing what they're going to be bringing out. We see, of course, that ballpoint Splatling so great on this map, mirrored on both sides, by the way. And an interesting choice out here from OctoPi is those Dapple Dualies, going to be giving a lot of pressure to that comp. Very fast-paced weapon, got that cooler. I'm excited to see what plays Rose can make there. And it looks like right now, OctoPi going to be using that speed and getting an early pop here on the Rainmaker.
Yeah, I have seen Rose play those dudes before. One thing I want to know is I don't remember Aniki playing, but Aniki's Octobrush is legendary, and it's always been good in Splatoon 2. I can't remember it as much as Splatoon 1 if they played Splatoon, but that thing has been around the block and back. So you gotta watch it, because that Zipcaster will find you in your backline, and it will find a way to sneak that Rainmaker, kind of like how Rose is going to get the Rainmaker. Can't paint the pedals on time, and will get shut down.
Man, just not having that paint right there. Unfortunate, but a great sneak. Now they know that they're definitely going to have to keep eyes out for Rose, especially if they manage to place some beacons in some really sneaky places. But right now, Smithereen is going to take 2 down on OctoPi and go ahead and pick up that Rainmaker. Looks like they're going for this right-hand jump over here. Going to be making that jump, painting this pedestal, and able to break that checkpoint with no real contention from OctoPi at the moment. But 2 down on Smithereens. It looks like this push is going to stop here for now, at least, as OctoPi is going to be fighting here to try to get that pop. But looks, Genie, just as I said that earlier, now a big pop going to take out one of OctoPi's members and may give Smithereens the pressure that they need to go forward. But Aniki there with a great defense.
Yeah, Aniki there. Now has the Zipcaster ready to go. He's going to be able to spot out where the Tri-Slasher is. Going to need some teammates to help them pressure it out. No, they're just going to go for it themselves. The Rainmaker is going to be popped just on the other side of that pedestal, and Aniki doesn't hit the landing properly. Oh, happens to the best of us.
Hate to see it right now. OctoPi does have that popped though, and are going to try to let it reset, but it doesn't look like Smithereens is going to want to give up that space. They're going to go ahead and pick it up, try to do what they can to move forward. Getting a great pick onto Rose and Aniki there is going to give Smithereens the pressure that they need to be moving forward. A Tortilla going to go in, misses the swipe onto the Rainmaker. Look at those squid rolling down all the way to 1, Genie.
This is crazy! OctoPi, they've been put so far back in this one. The Killer Whale's gonna take out Aniki, this Rainmaker's gonna try and go. Can they get the dunk? They're gonna go for it, and they won't be stopped! Oh, I thought that for sure that they had it. Smithereens, they still have some members here. They're still trying to pop this Rainmaker, but OctoPi, they have the members coming back. The Rainmaker, though, you can't let that Potato can't let that thing pop. Finally, OctoPi's gonna be able to grab it, but they have to reset this thing as soon as possible.
Yes, they sure do, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and go for a manual reset there, jumping it off the ledge, not wanting to risk anything and letting Smithereens get back in there. But actually, oh, I say that. It looks like it actually didn't reset. It jumped off and it stayed right down there, so maybe they died to a bomb or something, but it looks like they're going to forcibly reset it now this time and send it all the way back to mid, forcing Smithereens to kind of back up and regroup.
Lexus Gal has just been chilling here. I do want to point out, Potato hit a phenomenal inkjet shot on a midair inkjet, which is not very common, and to see that on stream, had to make sure that one was shouted out there. But here we go. Another Potato inkjet is able to take out one. We'll be able to find more. No, the Tri-Stars are on the high ground. We'll be able to shut it down after just really good with the slashes when they have. Rose is short range, gonna prove to be a little bit costly here in this low ground. But no, dances around, and Azuna's gonna find a trade there. You don't want to take a trade with a tactical weapon though.
No, you don't. But even then, right now, with the pressure that OctoPi has to go forward, they need to knock out to win this with just about a minute remaining in the game. While you normally don't want to trade with a cooler weapon, at least there's still bleeding time off the clock right now by taking out one of OctoPi's members. But they got to be careful since OctoPi is now on the move. You got Aniki there on the offensive, but goes down in the Zipcaster. Potato trying to protect this left-hand side to give Rose the ability to dunk, and it looks like they're going to be taken out of the dunk by the ballpoint Splatling there. And Smithereens is putting on quite a show of defense right now. It's just about 45 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Potato waiting on this wall. The teammate was able to, Potato was able to find some support, suppression of fire to get them across this right side. Maybe gonna go for it. No, they won't. They're gonna stay back. Rainmakers look to be popped by Smithereens if they can get it here and now. There aren't many members of OctoPi left. They will have some jump-ins with the beacons, but they need to get this Rainmaker going quick because we're under 30 seconds and they gotta get this game knocked out if they want to win.
They sure do, Genie, and it's a lot of pressure there in that street to move the Rainmaker through. Potato and Rose working there together, trying to do what they can for OctoPi, but Rose is gonna go down, and 2 down now on the side of OctoPi. Tortilla is gonna be forced to recall here, and it doesn't look like OctoPi is gonna have the popping power.
No, they didn't have it in the end. Smithereens pushed down to 1, was just too strong. OctoPi didn't have enough gas in the tank, not enough fizzies in the drinks, not enough oomph in the Zipcasters. But it's okay. There's another chance for them to get a game off, take a game here. But Smithereens, that push down to 1 where they almost dunked at 1 twice, proved just to be a little bit too much.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the crazy plays there, they were able to just kind of sneak by, and you kind of saw them from the angle that we had the camera at down below in that pit, just squid rolling to survive and get as many points as you can on the board. And that's the kind of thing I love to see in Rainmaker gameplay. I don't know about you, Genie, but just the maneuvers in this game, using them to just inch out points can be crazy.
It's such an entertaining mode, and another very entertaining mode that is very not as volatile in the points that you can rack up just due to forgetting about one objective, but it is still volatile if your team executes it well at the same time with a lot of clams. Clamlets. Would have thought the clams thing would have had to be used on clams. And Museum is a map where I feel like if OctoPi keeps their same comp, they can dominate.
Absolutely, Genie. I think the weapon choices that they've got work really, really well. I think that, first of all, you're never going to go wrong with having the ballpoint on basically any map in this game, at this point in the game. But I just think also having that Octo Brush who can zip in, who can take some of those weird angles on these ledges, and having beacon placements, especially if you can get behind somebody, place a beacon, get some jumps into that, and come from an unexpected angle, can work out really, really well for them. Although it does look like we're going to see Rose shift off that and go to another tacticooler weapon, the Inzap, which is going to be really great at having a lot of uptime on that tacticooler.
Yeah, I prefer the Inzap swap here. Gives yourself a suction bomb. The beacons are nice, but if your team is mobile, then and your ballpoint's in good position, then you can always just jump to your ballpoint as long as their inkjet landing is in a nice spot, or your zipcaster landing for that matter as well, because you have two of them.
Yep, you sure do. And right now, it looks like OctoPi is trying to take mid here. They do get 2 down on Smithereens. They're going to be painting up this ground, looking for Clams. Tortilla pushed pretty far there, but goes down. Rose does have a ball up for OctoPi, but is already being pressured back by Lex there, getting a nice double. Going to take that power clam out of play, and it looks like it's going to be on OctoPi to try to pick it up, but it doesn't look like they're going to have time to get to it before it dies. And now they have to deal with Smithereen, who's pushing way up on this left-hand side and has an inkjet out as well.
Ooh, very nice inkjet, able to find one. Can they find two? They're forcing Tortilla in a bad spot in against a killer whale and a low ground, but they have Zipcaster, sorry, and they're able to get one in a trading scenario. Potato able to shut 2 down, but their inkjet recall is not going to allow them to stop the clam bit blitz basket. My goodness, there was going to be a power clam fading over on a left side, but a push was a push, no matter how small, and I'll say that today.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And the thing though now is going to give OctoPi and a pity clam to work with, so they need to be pretty careful as OctoPi gears up to make a push, because if they can jump in with 1 clam plus that pity, it's going to be going down to 60 automatically. Definitely not something you want to find yourself in. Aniki coming on this off angle, using that Zipcaster to their advantage, getting a nice pick there, 2 down onto Smithereens. This may give OctoPi a little bit of the momentum they need, especially as Rose is working up here in this plat, forced to drop down because of those bombs, but they've got that tacticooler active. They're ready to take those fights, but now OctoPi loses that Stamper player and has to face the Inkjet and the other weapons that are online, as it looks like Smithereens is going to be popping a tacticooler of their own to go in and fight with.
Yeah, the problem with Smithereens is they've got 2 tacticooler weapons. So at any point in time, they've got 1 fight, they can run after you, and if they lose some members, just jump back in and use their next tacticooler. Even though their Slasher goes down, they should be back, and they definitely have that tacticooler at the ready. So OctoPi, yet they won that fight fairly cleanly. The fight from Smithereens is already back, and if they gotta wipe Smithereens again, they'll still be back because they have another tacticooler buff.
Yeah, this kind of comp is really fun and entertaining to watch. I saw a video earlier this week, I think it was from ProChara, talking about the use of tacticooler and the way that top JP teams would just pop them, run in, and it was just kind of permanent pressure in your face. And I think we're seeing a lot of that same kind of similar action from Smithereens, who's refusing to back down in these fights and really just claiming a lot of space right now. They haven't been able to really get a push to there quite yet, but you see that even when they lose fights, they're just back in almost instantaneously, and that's really stopping OctoPi's pushes right now, because they can't really find a way to break that.
Yeah, and like, I say it every so often, oh, hold up, before I get my point across, we gotta find out where Lex is going. I'm gonna try and find Rose on the low ground of our screen. Potato comes back and is going to be able to shut that down. We do see that Tortilla is going to try and be pressured. Lex gets one, Lex gets two before getting punished. That's a little bit more than I'd like. I'm uncomfortable with on the side of OctoPi.
Yeah, it goes down there with the ball on OctoPi. Splat going to be stopping a push from Smithereens there. Great for OctoPi, but you can still see just this Tri-Slosher, that Inkjet, creating a lot of pressure. The Tri-Slosher going to be waiting patiently, trying to catch Rose as they came up to the ledge, but not quite able to find the picks, and now going to be forced to jump out, give up a little bit of their space in mid, as OctoPi is definitely going to be using that to their advantage, especially with that Inkjet in that Stamper combination. They've got a ball online, Genie, and it looks like one actually went down there when we had that recall. Genie, right now, just 34 seconds left on the clock. Only one power clam scored. It doesn't take a lot to flip this, but OctoPi just has to find that way in.
A lead is a lead no matter how small, and no matter how hard you try, it's going to be difficult. We see many members of OctoPi ready to go in. Lex has got a little bit of a flank going on. They do see where Rose is, but the power climb is starting to fade. OctoPi is able to get it. Can they get it towards the basket? No, there's another power climb up at their disposal. They have a tactical cooler. Will Nikki be able to grab it? They're trying to look for. We're going to be entering overtime here, folks. Potato goes down. We've got Lex down on the side of Smithereens. 1-for-1 trades. That power climb cannot fall on the side of OctoPi. They get another splat. The tactical cooler is here for Smithereens. Rose is trying to push in with it. Aniki's going around to the side as well. They're trying to go in with Tortilla, and the Zipcasters are going in. They get the splats that they need, but they need the power climbs. You need to grab the power climbs, and you can't grab them with Zipcasters. The Zipcasters recalled, and there's no way that they lose the game because two Zipcasters can't throw the objective into the basket.
Oh, goodness, Genie. And that's, they had an Inkjet too, which has the exact same problem. They're all specials that aren't going to be able to throw in the middle. They're going to have that recall. And unfortunately, you can see just moments like that sometimes can cost the game, as just one power clam scored cost that game. In Genie, wow, 2-0, but that truly does not tell the whole story of that set.
No, it doesn't. That Clamblets game is going to be hung in the Louvre, bro. This is going to be hung in Museum del Encino. The one power clam game ended because 3 people said, all right, piece my specials up, and Rose was no longer on the battlefield, meaning that the game just kind of ended.
Oh my gosh, it's so silly to see those types of moments, and it is unfortunate. You gotta think about team comps sometimes and stuff like that, and that is an unfortunate moment. It comes down to sometimes the right people weren't up at the right time. Rose being down, super duper unfortunate for OctoPi. And I think that you have to commend them, though. They were able to keep up the fight so long. The double tacticaler team that just kept a presence and pressure on the map at all times. The fact that even just one power clam was scored and that OctoPi was able to stop the rest is something to applaud within itself.
Yeah, that was so good. The amount of defense there was so cool. As somebody that plays at any point in time in any video game or in real life, I was a defense. I played defense in hockey. It's cool to see the door get shut sometimes. It's cool to see the fortress stand tall. But yeah, it was a good run for OctoPi. One of these days, they're gonna come up and be that team that just wins SOS. They're just gonna win the whole thing. It's not gonna be today because of course they're out. But my goodness, the amount of time and effort and practice and preparation that they put in. I know, Tomer, from you and me watching them over at in LTC, it's crazy. It's crazy to see the level of drive that they put in.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And this is I remember seeing Potato, back when Potato was on Tentacle and was like a constant scrim partner of my old Div 8 team, and just to see the progress that even just some of these individual players have made. Because if you had asked me back then, if it was like, oh, you're gonna get low ink banned and you're gonna place in top 16 in a LAN and you're gonna beat Destiny troops, I'd have been like, I don't know if that's in the cards quite yet for you. But the people will always come out, always surprise you, and I think that OctoPi has been that. not even that long ago that they were, you know, regular FTIU or LSL participants. And, you know, every time they were just coming from behind, fighting with everything they have. They'd always kind of been a little bit of the underdog team. And they've really, in just the recent times, just kept multiplying in potential. And it's been absolutely amazing to watch.
Yeah. We're talking a little bit more about OctoPi than we are about Smithereens. Just kind of due to the fact that OctoPi is a set in stone team. I'm guessing by the fact that I have not seen Smithereens, so that they are not a full team under my understanding.
Looking at these players, like I know all these players like individually, I've seen them around before, but I do think Smithereens is a pickup.
Yeah. That's the general vibe, but every pickup can turn into a team. That's the crazy thing about pickups. So,
oh yeah, it sure it can, Genie. Especially when you're having pickups that can make this level. There's established teams that come into SOS and that can't break Lantern, Mako, and so you know teams that can make it to Great White and it's their first, second time playing with each other. You know, it's really impressive. Yeah,
it's pretty good and. I don't know. I always like watching SOS in the week. It's always just for me. It's a fun time. We do see that Smithereens will be moving on to play against In Control Red Sun, who have been on the hot trot recently. They're coming in as our first seed, which makes sense because we don't have our. I don't know if the kids remember the FT wins anymore. We don't have our Starbursts anymore.
No, we don't, but In Control Red Sun is such a great team. You know, speaking, we talked about OctoPi at LTC. In Control Red Sun, also another team that we saw make just an absolute name for themselves at LTC. Really commanding performance in that top 16. I was able to actually commentate one of their sets. I can't remember if it was versus Sonder or Smoothie, but just absolutely fantastic gameplay. And, you know, I'm always going to have that backline bias, and I love seeing Crimson Shadows on that ballpoint Splatling just absolutely tearing it up.
For me, I have a soft spot for Crimson because Crimson and I, and Crimson, Ellie, and Dan the Man, we played on the Water Breather Quartet at Big House and made top 8 there. Dan is on Smoothie, Ellie's TO, and assisted production for Ink TV, and Crimson Shadows being on In Control Red Sun now. It's crazy to see that bunch of bandits go together. This was before this was just after the All-Star Squad Crimson Shadow days and just before the Smoothie days for Dan the Man. So to see where both those two people have gone for me is it's pretty amazing and really well deserved. And for me to say, sure, you know what, I'll pass on my backline skills and like I'll play a different class because you're just better than me. It takes a special person because I stick close to my backlines. I don't give them up for any normal human being.
Yeah, I love backlines. I love connecting with all the different people, and I've grown close to Basil, to a lot of other different backline players, and they're so fun. They're so fun. I'm always gonna hold that bias. Sorry, Frontlines, I love you too. Somebody's got to do the slaying because God knows that I can't do it. But I have the backline bias and always will. It also informs my terrible map opinions, as I've been told.
Yo, Flounder Heights dog map. Yo,
yeah, literally.
Yo, I was just talking about that earlier. Frontlines say, "Oh, it's a fine map. Oh, you'll do fine." Backliners, no, the world is burning.
I love when the only entry point to the map is from low ground. It's so much fun.
Bro, once we get locked up there, we're good. But we have nightmares of that one time we queued up for it in solo queue because we said it wasn't going to be that bad, and then you realize, oh wait.
I don't even know, Genie. Are you playing backlines in solo queue? Because like my little heart can't take it anymore. Like I'm gonna go crazy if I'm like 14-1ing as E-leader and my slayers are all negative. I don't even know how to do it anymore.
You got to do it with a tall bottle of whiskey.
Yeah,
don't do that, kids. Don't try that. Don't try that. I've got my water cup beside me.
I've been resorting to try Nouveau because I'm like, okay, well, if no one's gonna get in there and slay, I guess I'm gonna have to do it.
I just play heavy deco. That's easy.
That's so real.
Yeah, people say, oh, it's gonna be a bad kit. Who's gonna use crack? I'm like, hold my beer. Excuse me.
I'm not even gonna lie, Jeannie. I was a little skeptical at first when we saw the kit. I was like, oh no, this doesn't look good. And then I got it, right? And then I was like, oh wait, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just making a bunch of lies. Like, as long as you can get your kills, or you can get back out in time, it's fine. You just don't let your Kraken just explode and
you get out
of somebody.
What, you leave?
I just get the kills first.
No,
that's the best way to do it.
Make sure. So, tip for anyone who ever picks up the heavy deco or any weapon that has enter generic weapon like or toxic mist, line marker, point sensor. You throw it. You throw them. You get your connection. Then you crack in, and you know where they are at all times. So Ninja Squid can't juke you out. Shadows can't juke you out. You know where they are. You will be able to pinpoint them and track them down. It's like, I don't know, like the bounty hunter, bro. You got
now
you got a bounty on you, bro, and you're gone.
Now, if I could just convince anyone on my team except for me to have a utility sub.
Yo.
I love Toxic Mist Supremacy. I will speak to that all day long.
Alright, you and Nox can go have a fun time over there.
Oh, we did. We had that fun talk last SOS. It was really great.
Well, I got roasted in the background by Nox. I'm over here cheering for Disruptor. I'm like, for me, I look at Toxic Mist and I say, you're the child who's disappointing because your older brother was so much better than you.
Yeah, and what if we just buffed it and gave it a disruptor effect? You know, great minds think alike, right?
If Toxic Mist had a disruptor effect and actually slowed people down, then it'd be awesome. But whenever I throw Toxic Mist, nobody slows down.
Yeah, I think it just needs to get buffed. Just give the disruptor effect on a direct hit, and then we're based.
Oh, it's great. No, honestly, then it'd be fine. Then I wouldn't hate it. It's just the fact that it doesn't do anything half the time.
I throw it at you. Throw it at jumps, looking specifically at maps like Mako Mart or like a Sturgeon Shipyard, Rainmaker. You're not getting across that jump. It's not happening.
It works against the Rainmaker, but for me, the ones that I'm not having the problem with is the Raider. I'm the one that's having the problem with. Like, I've got like these dualies that are rolling up on me. Bro, dualies don't care about Toxic Mist.
I just stay far away from them personally.
But how do you stay far away from a Zipcaster?
That's a fair point. I don't.
Like, what am I doing?
I jump away because I'm scared.
So then just me dying. What's the point?
Oh my goodness. But enough of that talk, Genie. We're getting ready to go into Decay versus a new meta 2.0. Are you ready for this matchup? And they're going to be starting off on Mako Mart Tower Control, one of my personal favorite maps, or at least as far as tower control is concerned.
Yeah, it's I like this map. It's a good map. It's a fun map. It's a balanced map. It allows me to play Luna Blaster and solo queue, so that it automatically checks off in my good books for it's a tower control map that I like to play. And it's balanced. Now that Machine is dead, we can do the Crab Rave. Actually, it's not Crab. Crab is not dead. It's Machine's dead. I don't know. It allows more versatility. Do we see a lot of inkjets on this map? Absolutely. Have I seen the rise in ballpoint and rapid deco being played on this map? Absolutely. But you know what? That's spicy. But the other thing is, Machine is still really strong here. I'm looking at two maps, Mako Tower Control and Undertow Spillway Rainmaker, which Machine still holds its crown.
Yep, it does. And I think both these maps, there's kind of really just ledge heaven that really allows it to take advantage of that. You've got just all these stacks, ledges to be playing around, especially since the tower control route really goes alongside them. After you approach that first checkpoint, really the rest of the way kind of just has these walls and these ledges that you can poke over with Machine that you may not be able to do so effectively without just taking the jump if you're, a shooter or any other type of weapon that doesn't really have that kind of poking power.
Yeah. And here we go. Our semi-final matchup here to come. And ooh, I forgot that Storm is here. And congrats to Storm for getting sponsored by Sway. We always applaud anytime that we get a new esports sponsor here. Gotta shout them out because we would like to see more of them. If every team in our top cut could be sponsored, that would be the golden age.
Genie, are you seeing what I'm seeing right now?
Okay, so here, time out. If you watch Paddling Pool, I saw a Snipe Rider for like 4 games. So like, Snipe Riders are not apparently a normal commodity in my brain.
That is so wild. This is I think the first time I ever commentated something with a pencil, and like now I'm right now like, it's cooler, right? I don't even know it's kit. Like I haven't seen this thing in anything I've commentated, in anything I've played. Oh my god! What? Oh my god! While I'm getting distracted by the pencil, Stan decides to just go in and get a sweet double and just one single slash to get new Meta 2.0's push rolling.
Oh my gosh, that was phenomenal. And I love the name too, Gwen Stacy. That's a fire name. Shoutouts to the new Spider-Man movie that I haven't watched yet, so I can't spoil anything because I don't know what happens. But it's a W name. And the Zipcaster not able to find too much, but the brush is gonna try and go in, trying to find some splash, but doesn't get quite close enough to be able to take out this Zap. This Snipe Rider, we gotta focus on that one for a second. What kind of strength does Snipe Rider bring to the table here?
You know, one of the things that I do like about it is just the fact that it can put down a lot of ink really fast with those multiple shots that it's got and create a lot of pressure on you if it's got you in its sights. If you've got good aim and you can type that thing, you know, Bamboo takes 2 shots and it's still a really great main weapon. But this thing has just so much more reach, Genie. It can threaten you from so much further away. I don't think we see it as much because there isn't people who can have the mechanics as often to take advantage of it as compared to like a Splat Charger or an E-Leader.
Yeah, it can poke holes in a team pretty darn quickly. It's hard to use, but it also fills out a nice little niche on a team. There is 2 of them on new meta. There's 2 Tacticoolers, but Tacticooler is so strong right now that that's why Sniper is getting usage. Even because it has Sprinkler, it allows you to, crazy enough, it allows you to get the Tacticooler faster.
Yes, it sure does, and that's going to be really helpful to keep these pushes alive, especially as we've seen new Meta 2.0 taking really aggressive positions, and you know, they may be going down in fights, and if you got 2 Tacticolors, as we kind of talked about a little bit before, you can get back into that action so fast. They've already got 1 popped, now it's going to give the Tri-Slosher the potential to build 1. Sorry, that's not the Tri-Nouveau, actually, the Zap. Time to build 1 up and get 1 going. But you see it right there. I think even just the quick super jump coming into effect there, getting that pencil out of there just so fast, Genie.
Yeah, the Sniper Rider, it's a phenomenal weapon to watch when it can be used well. These Booyah Bombs, though, Tri-Strikes are going to allow Decay to have some space, especially now that they have the Tri and the Stamper gone. Octopus is going to be fall. We're going to see the Sniper Rider jump back. This first checkpoint for Decay should be very heavily... Actually, they've got past it already. What am I saying? They should be going their way down to the second checkpoint. There we go, Genie.
Yep, Genie. And right now, the fight over here on that right-hand side gonna result in a trade between that brush and that Tri-Slosher. Decay gonna be trying to get some points on the board, but that splash gonna be taken out as they approach that checkpoint, or that checkpoint where it would be. I guess they've already broken that there. And now, new Meta 2.0 gonna be taking control here. Again, you can see how quickly they're moving forward, painting mid, finding another pick onto that splash once again, and now Stan over there trying to create pressure on Decay's plat. And just Genie, these teams are just got so much pressure offensive going on at the moment. The Snipe Rider is somehow staying alive in that corner, gonna jump out with that Tacticooler buff as well, keeping themselves alive. We keep seeing time and time again how that is saving them in these interactions. And right now, you know, that helps them bleed time off the clock. Jump out so they're not respawning as fast, gets you back into the action faster, bleeds time off the clock, and that's exactly what you need to do if you're new Meta 2.0 right now.
You're just defending the mid because even though you get spotted, do you truly get splatted? That is what Tacticooler allows you to do. And I've got NM screaming in my ear Not actually saying how Tacticooler's been good, but Tacticooler is really good right now. When whatever formula they put in those drinks is doing well. Decay, they've got 10 seconds here to figure out a way to touch this tower. And they're gonna have to do it mighty quick.
Yeah, they sure are. And right now, Storm gonna get a pick there onto the Tri-Slasher, but it's just not gonna be enough to get Decay in and on that tower on time. That first game is gonna be going to New Meta 2.0.
Tip to everybody, if you want to help Decay, you gotta spam the emote before the final 10 seconds of the match. The copy pasta usually only works halfway through. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at the end.
A little bit too late to come into
a little
effect.
bit too late. So if you want to start spamming it now to help Decay come back in this Rainmaker Undertow game, which I'm extremely worried about because Tacticooler has always been good on Rainmaker, and Undertow is another map which, with the Tacticooler, allows you to go look like you're going left and then zoom right faster than the enemy team can get you to go right. And then even with that right play, if you get the splats that you need to get on that right side, you can go up the uninkable on the right or uninkable on the left with the run speed or the grading on the left side that is provided via the Tacticooler, meaning that Tacticooler here has always been strong and will continue to be strong as long as it has the mobility buff.
Absolutely. And you know, Genie, I talked about tower control Nakamart earlier. I said it was one of my favorite modes, and then I was like, you know, when tower control is involved, and I needed to make that clarification because right after I'd seen that, this map list popped up, and I saw Undertow Rainmaker, and this is my favorite map mode in the game, Genie.
Oh, really?
Yes, you may understand my bias as a Tri-Stringer player, and this is just like the perfect Tri-Stringer map.
You know what's crazy? My favorite map mode combination is the next map mode combination. Can you blame me for being a heavy spotling player and a Umbrella player?
No. So you know what I'm hearing here is we need to go to a game 3, so we both get to see our favorite map in the same set.
Hey yo. Yeah, and we're hearing from the Scrimbucks that Boeing, I've been promised a Snipe Raider, and if I don't have it, okay, Boeing, you're off the hook. We got a Snipe Raider, baby. Woo, let's go! Snipe Raider in the chat.
Absolutely. Getting into this, I'm so excited to see that pencil get started once again. And we see the Tri-Slosher actually on both sides here now instead of a machine, and I think this is also just an absolutely excellent Tri-Slosher map, Genie.
It slows down the uninkables because you can't really swim. It has an inkjet, which is an inkjet in the current inkjet meta, so it's always good. And the right checkpoint falls already. New meta. They've got something cooking. Going right side off the rip. Decay just caught sleeping.
Absolutely. Instead, just running up that uninkable and gonna extend that lead to 37 before going down. But who cares if they went down there? I'm able to add just so much to that lead, Genie. We're 45 seconds into the game, basically, and that was just an insane play that really doesn't stop New Meta 2.0, even though they went down, because right now you see they're still waiting on that to reset. It just reset, but now Decay's already down a player too as they're trying to fight. Ooh. But the brush coming from behind and Junkie finding a pick and then a trade there for Decay, but 3 down now. New Meta 2.0 is going to be gearing up, and we've seen them play fast, Genie. They're going to be rushing over here as fast as they can. I'm sure very eager to try to put even more points on the board.
Yeah, they definitely want to get some more points. 35 is a point total, which I have seen win games, but seen and common are not always the same thing. Like we saw a Clan Blitz game that ended with only one power clan put in the basket. Anyway, we have this Splash who's trying to hold their zone against the Wiper. They aren't going to be able to find their way. New Meta trying to push forward. They have a Tactical at the ready, but I don't know how much further they can go with this. They do have some angles here with this Rainmaker shooting their way to victory, but they have to watch out because I believe this Inkjet is going to find A, and yes, that should signify a pause in the push.
Yes, it sure is going to give Decay a little bit of room to breathe here as they're going to be able to collapse down there on that Wiper player from New Meta 2.0 and start working on trying to rebuild some yellow ink here, but they've got to keep an eye out. That brush coming in from the side, getting 3 down now. Decay, and that's the full wipe. They're going to be able to pick this up and keep going. And Genie, this is going to be great for them, especially if they can get all the way to the end of that uninkable. It looks like they've pushed a little bit further than they did before. If able to reach the end of that uninkable in 18, you know, still definitely not 100% safe, but definitely a lot more comfortable.
Extremely. That's around that wall that we just saw. You saw exactly where it was. It was not where the uninkable finished. It was really close to the end, but it's around that main safe wall that people like to bump their head on. So that's a very big number, and that could be game winning, especially when you can wipeout after wipeout. Decay needs to get back on their feet, because right now, this is all new metas.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, and honestly, it's surprising to me here, especially with that pencil. Like, I underestimated them going into that first game, seeing this pencil, but new meta surely showing us that they intend on creating a new meta. Decay has to find a way to get back in here. 1:40 left on the time, and still, mid is just covered in this purple ink. Genie, new meta has not stopped pushing basically this entire game.
No, again, those tactical coolers have just been proving to be so much. We've got Gwen Stacy here with this Rainmaker, trying to find some shots down with it. Able to at least get one, but gotta watch out because that ballpoint's got that range on you. It's got that range advantage, and it has its inkjet. Another inkjet coming up from the try is gonna be able to take them out in the brush. Just avidly just trying to swing their way at Storm, but Storm is just a little bit too tall up there.
Yes, they are Genie, and now you've got to really use those picks to your advantage if you're Decay. You've got to move in. You've got 2 down now on new meta. You've got to get forward. You've got to get the paint down, but they're letting stand behind. Gonna find a pick with that hammer throw as well. Junkie gonna go over them in the corner as they're starting to push the Rainmaker forward, but
here we go. Trying to find where the Rainmaker can go. We've got just over 40 seconds, or just under 40 seconds left. Daybrim trying to get away, but they can't. The Toximist finally being able to prove its worth and slow up and down. But you know what? That wasn't a duel, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, here we go. We're going to have Tomo back momentarily as the Storm is surging. Here we go. We need to see if Storm can surge their way forward with the rest of the members of Decay in this last 10 seconds. Did we already lose this? The splash on the side of Decay, new meta. They're just going to be trying to hold this Rainmaker. Are they going to grab it and run it back? No, they're just going to try and defend it in mid. The Zipcaster, you won't be able to grab that Rainmaker. It's going to be dangerous because if you are Decay, if you can't even grab this thing, you can't even touch it. And that will be new meta taking this series 2-0. My goodness. What a beautiful game. Oof. And it's hard for Decay to really find a way to push back in on that. We did know that new meta, just the unrelenting pressure that Toma had been talking about, was put on full display on both the Mako game and the Undertow game, showing that maybe Tacticooler is going to be swaying this meta in its favor. Tacticooler Inkjet, it's pretty spicy. It is pretty spicy. And let's get a little bit of a look at the bracket. Oh, that's Boeing's POV. Yo, Boeing, your hat looking fire today. The bowler. Oh, I thought you were going to show it to me. Anyway, we've got Red Zone taking it 2-1 over Smithereens. So our next match will be In Control Red Zone versus New Meta 2.0 for finals. With that, I'm going to take a little bit of a break as we get 1, to get into the lobby for Boeing's sake. 2, I get to have a drink and rest my voice. And 3, we get Toma back, because I'm pretty sure you all want Toma back. With that, we'll see you on the other side of the short break.
Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Tom, once again, freshly unexploded from my router. Back with Genie for Grand Finals. In control, Red Sun versus a new meta 2.0. Tell me how you're feeling, Genie.
I'm feeling good that you're back to join us for this phenomenal game. We just came off of seeing new meta's insane performance, and is that Justin Bieber reacting to the DSI? Please, I think it is. Oh, such a phenomenal picture. Well, I speak to that. Zones Umami will be where we start. Umami Ruins, a very flat map, which, honestly, Snipe Rider's always kind of been okay on, even during its darkest days. Now I'm talking about it like it's a meta pick, bro. I saw it literally played by 2 people in 2 different tournaments, and all of a sudden it's a meta pick.
Yeah, and it definitely can work out. And I just love this map. I think it's a super fun one. We definitely are going to see Gwen Stacy returning with that pencil as well. And we see, in control, Red Sun running a pretty standard comp for them. They've got that new Wiper Deco, that ballpoint, and of course just a slashing machine in Zap. We've seen so much tacticaler tonight, and it looks like we're not going to see it stopping happening. And Genie, I'm excited for that, as we've already seen our first tacticaler pop in the first 15 seconds of the game. But right now, losing those fights, we can control Red Sun, but they're going to be back before they know it.
Oh my goodness, absolutely being plastered by new meta. And yes, I know I enjoy partying, especially this time of year for myself. But drinks seem to be on both these players. They've got all the drinks ready, and this Inkjet Zipcaster combo is going to do a little bit of damage, allowing new meta to take that canopy, take that tarp. They have to go watch out though, because the Red Sun, they have those missiles. In control will be using them to force them back and reclaim that area that was just lost via 2 specials.
Yep, absolutely. And right now, this timer ticking down pretty dangerously, but they do have 2 down or 3 down on a new meta. This is their opportunity. They're going to go ahead and use that to cap these 2 zones, get in control of them, apply a pretty hefty penalty to a new meta, and start really trying to set up here right now. But it looks like, new meta has no plans on making that easy for them, as they're already going to take down 2 on Red Sun. Stand there looking for a 3rd and going to be able to pick the ballpoint, and now they're forcing that machine way back, and look how far up they've moved.
They went so far up, but Red Sun's able to punish them. Admiral tries to get out of their spawn. They will be able to find 2. They got a Booyah Bomb at the ready. We want to see where they're going to use it. I think they're going to throw it on that far side of the zone, maybe on the right side or the left side. They chose on the right, and they got absolutely lasered out by Stan using that Splatoon Stamper. We see now that Stacy and Stan are together and trying to fight their way through the zone. Doing a good job. Have to watch out. The Zipcaster is going to go out. It's going to be able to punish Krim, who's using that Zipcaster. Sorry, that Inkjet. Here goes Stan again, doing so much damage with their Zipcaster on the Splatoon Stamper, proving that the Stamper, even though it got nerfed, it's not gone at all.
No, it definitely isn't. It's still a weapon we see widely and just has a lot of right pressure in the hands of the right people, You may argue QR Stamper is dead specifically, but Stamper itself still sees so much use. Stand here just putting the most work in on it. Back up a little bit there from an altercation now, as new meta is able to eat the rest of that penalty time off their clock and able to start scoring again. And in control, Red Sun really wants to try to make a move here. They do have 1 down on to new meta, but they're going to be spawning in pretty fast, trying to protect this zone. But look at this. It looks like they may be able to take that into their control, and that's going to be allowing them to really push forward, especially with 3 down on a new meta. And we can see if they can set up on a really good offensive position here in new meta space.
Looking good. Trying to find their way out on this right side. Trying to punish out Krim. Krim's the last one in the front. All the members of Red Sun had left their ballpoint absolutely out to dry. But 2 new meta members fall pretty much instantaneously. We're going to see that Gwen Stacy is going to be pressured hard, and they're going to fall with Ninja. This is dangerous if you're new meta. This zone lead will more than likely flip over in control of Red Sun.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that you don't get yourself staggered too much here as you try to fight your way out, even if that lead does change, which it is going to do, Genie, as you said. They're going to be trying to find their way in now. They have 1 pick, but they've got to move quick. They've got to at least neutralize one of these zones. To pause the time, it looks like they're able to do it, and it looks like they just need a little bit more to take control. But in control, Red Sun doing a great job of just kind of keeping this pressure out to stop both zones from flipping at the same time. And that's exactly what they need to do with just 4 counts left. But is it going to be enough now, Genie? 2 down on Red Sun. That's going to give New Meta the pressure they need to finally put that 67 penalty onto In Control Red Sun.
That dangerous dance that In Control is playing, they were able to neutralize one zone ever for at least, I want to say 30 seconds there. That's what it felt like. It felt like 30 years in my opinion. I'm only 23.
It really did. I was like, well, okay, what's going to happen here? I thought we might be trading zone until the end of the match, but they had no plans on that. In Control Red Sun now in control once again. Moving forward, they have quite the hefty penalty to work through, but we saw that first push, and we know they're definitely capable of doing it again. But New Meta has no plans of letting that happen. Going to get 2 down on In Control Red Sun, start moving through to claim these 2 zones. They're going to get control of them, and now have to work through that penalty of their own, as it looks like we probably will be going into overtime here, Genie.
More than likely. Game 1 of our best of 5 grand finals going to overtime. Who would have liked it any other way? As Gwen goes down to an inkjet shot from Krim. Krim's inkjet is going off right now. Gets 2! That's big splats for Red Sun. They're going to be able to go in with this. They have the zap down as well, but the tactical was here. New Meta should be able to jump in. Dan is there. They're able to get 1 spot. You got to get to the zone, though. And no, In Control, they will have control, and they take game 1.
Yeah, and Genie, that pick from the inkjet is really good, especially the timing on it, because I believe they caught that tacticooler as it popped, and they weren't actually able to pick up the tacticooler in time. So they had a full respawn timer in there too, which delayed them in getting back in.
What a phenomenal game 1. And we're going to go straight into Hagglefish, and I know these teams are going to go pretty darn straight into it. No messing around here at all. Thomas, do you feel like we could see... Well, do you know that we're going to see similar comps here, or do you feel like we're going to see similar comps here?
Typically, by the time we get to here in the tournament, I feel like most teams know what they're going to be running, especially if they're not just getting walled out by the other team. You know, if we had seen a situation where one of these teams had just steamrolled the other, then we may see teams like, okay, it's time to change up our strategy. But that was so back and forth and so even that I think that both of these teams are probably going to still feel pretty comfortable with what they've been running.
Yeah, I honestly agree with you. I'm looking... First of all, I usually always look back to front in comps. Backs will most likely stay the same. I feel Sniper Rider, again, the Hagglefish and Umami are 2 maps that, along with, like, Scorch and maybe a little bit of Eel Tail have been, like, Sniper Rider areas that they've been able to be utilized in, just due to the sightlines that it has. So I think that Sniper Rider will be fine here. Ballpoint, as long as the meta is the same, Ballpoint will be good here. And Admir probably going to stay on that machine, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Nico's going to stay. Beam's going to stay. Everybody stayed. Look at that. And I feel like it just works out on this map. It allows you to have good angles at all points.
Yep, it sure does. And we're going to see what they're going to do as they out towards this tower. Genie, is going to be a fight here in mid as both teams try to look for those picks to take early control of that tower. You do have kind of this mid area, which is a little bit scary to move through, as you can see. No, neither team really wants to move through it just yet, but the flanks are the perfect opportunity. We're going to see In Control go ahead and get through there. I believe that's Nico on that or Wiper go ahead and get a pick and start giving In Control some of their ability to move forward, but it's not going to last too long here. Stan going to be zipping in, trying to do what they can. Finds a pick there onto one of the members of the Red Sun before recalling and picking up that sweet tacticooler for them to continue fighting with.
My goodness, the inkjet combo with the burst bomb and the horizontal slash, or the vertical slash of that Stamper, proving to be too much for In Control. Getting synced back to the respawn kettle. So the espresso machine is there in Splatoon 3. These tacticoolers, this constant tacticooler buff for new meta, allows them to lose a fight while actually not giving up any control. Kind of crazy.
Yes, it sure is, Genie, and they're going to be using that to push all the way up to checkpoint 2. They've got 3 down on Red Sun as well. The last one there in their inkjet, but nowhere near the tower as they're going to push through potentially the second checkpoint as well. And breaking this second checkpoint is going to be huge for them if they can manage to do it, but it looks like they're just going to fall 1 point short of that, Genie.
They lost 3 people, but they're still pushing the tower. Oh no, they didn't hop on the tower. I thought they hopped on the tower. They got the zap was split at the last moment. They really have barely only given up mid, but it's costing In Control all of their life. They've got nobody left to push. The tower didn't even fully reset to mid.
Yeah, they sure don't, Genie. This is just, look how much blue is here on this map. It's crazy to see as they're still continuing this push. Genie and In Control Red Sun really just hasn't had a chance to touch tower much at all this game. Pushing through this second checkpoint this time, hoping to break it, but have to wait out that Booyah bomb that's going to force this tower to reset a little bit back. But you can tell that this pressure, they're not ready to give this up. Genie stand up there in the Zipcast, rushing around, trying to put some pressure on In Control, but 2 down now on a new meta. And like you say, they're still pushing tower. They've got that Sniper up there. You saw the Stamper running in. This tower, it has not moved from In Control's side.
If there's one meta that I want to see, the KA screen back. If I want to see it back, it's this one, this Tactical one. I feel like we were robbed in the Invitational, and a dogfight that is actually won. Crimson coming out clean. And this is a push now for In Control Red Sun. I'll hold that other thought for another moment in time.
Absolutely. This is their first chance to really get control of this tower and start moving it towards this first checkpoint, and we're going to see how they're going to utilize that. They do have a tactical of their own out as they're able to clear this first checkpoint, take down the members that are assaulting tower, but then that Tri-Slash comes in, just mopping it up for the defense on New Meta's side. You do have one still scrap kind of going on there on the tower, but it looks like they're going to fall off the map while trying to jump out, Genie.
I think that was planned because you're either gonna get splatted here, and if you jump off the map yourself, you get to come back just a little bit faster. So we're gonna go on Abner's side and say that was planned. Nico trying to avoid the Zipcaster, has the Ultra Stamp, is able to take out Gwen Stacy. They do see that there's a jump in, able to take out the Tri-Slasher in A as well, and able to yeet their hammer. Oh, I believe it hit the tower. I'm not 100% sure, but they did see that there are 2 jumps out on the side of New Meta, allowing In Control Red Sun to have a lot of space in control.
Yeah, they're gearing up for the defense here, but you see these specials and all this pressure from In Control. They're able to take 2 down, and now on a new meta, this is this dangerous spot for them here. You don't want them to be able to clear this checkpoint, but with these specials being popped, they're getting a lot of pressure on there to do so. And Genie, Sunflower's 1 point away. And it looks like a new meta is going to be able to mop up that push, that full wipe, and defend lead by 1 point.
Individual point separates this game. My goodness, New Meta holds the gates. Do they hold them strong? No. But the gates held. That is all that matters. 10 seconds left. Can In Control touch this tower? They're gonna run, put everything they can at it. And New Meta, they have this Tacticooler ready to go. Here we go, Toma.
Let's see what's going to be brought out. The inkjet battle going on there to try to create space for In Control Red Sun, but it just isn't going to be enough. Genie, I don't think I could have asked for a better game than this.
I know, we had 2 phenomenal back-to-back games, 68 to 69. Nice.
Gosh.
Sorry, it was sitting there. It was sitting there.
I can't even blame you.
It was a golden platter. It was the low-hanging fruit. I am but a child at heart.
I feel that, me too. Every year I get older, but I still am I don't feel 26, Genie.
No. Anyway, we've got Museum Rainmaker, and if this series has proved anything, this could go either way. Originally, I was thinking that how Hagglefish was turning out, it felt like New Meta had counterpicked it, because In Control did not have an answer. They did not have a game plan. They looked like a little bit solo queue, esque gameplay. But then they brought it around and brought it to 1 point. Overtime was a quick one and done. Jump on the tower and go next. But it definitely looked like that. But they brought it back. So I want to see if Inking Control won't dig them so deep in a hole down into the 30s off of pretty much like the first opening, a minute 30. But this time, have a better, more solid opening, stronger, and especially in Rainmaker. If you slip up in the early game, it could be over quick.
Yeah, and this is one that can go so fast. Points rack up really fast, especially after that checkpoint when you're just zooming in towards their base, but also because it's so far up in your base, it's one of those games that's pretty hard to KO unless you really get the enemy team staggered. Right now, both teams just going to be fighting out in this neutral game right now, seeing if they can get some picks down before moving this Rainmaker. It looks like the space right now going a little bit in favor of a new meta, but definitely in control not backing off. They're going to force a jump out there and switch that turf control. Thanks to that as well, they're going to be making the hop across and going to be trying to make an early dunk here, but it looks like they're struggling to swim up the side and force to actually drop Genie.
Ooh, and that's a good checkpoint broken. We're going to see A trying to make their way on the spinner. They're going to get punished out here. In Control's got this Rainmaker pop, and they got some specials not overly close, but they're trying to farm up this Tech Cooler. New Meta has their Tech Cooler at the ready. Are able to go for the defense. If Beam can get this Tech Cooler, they can at least keep this push going, but unfortunately, they lose 2 of their members on that front line, meaning that this push is significantly over.
Yes, and now new meta going to be looking to gain some footing here in mid. They see Nico here on the drop, going to be trying to take them out as this fight goes on. It looks like a combination of that Inkjet plus Rainmaker plus Stamper kind of takes them out eventually. Dan going to be causing quite the distraction here too as the Rainmaker tries to go towards that pedestal, but doesn't quite find it right now. You've got the members of In Control Red Sun on a great defense at the moment, and they're going to be using that this tactical is on both sides to their advantage. Genie right now, Rainmaker still pretty far back in mid, and there's a lot of pink around there at the moment.
I love how Krim just said, you know what, I don't care anymore. I'm not paying attention. You're a mosquito that is wasting my time, and then just proceeded to look away. But this is gonna be Red Sun, another opportunity. Nico's got that hammer, gonna be yeeting it over the top. Won't be able to find anything. A little bit of space. Beam's gonna be running forward with this Rainmaker. Krim is able to get a splat. Does have that Inkjet ready, but they're losing their teammates left and right. They're gonna have to find some more splats here. Numeta's dropping as well. Both teams are actually dropping like flies, but In Control. Red Sun picked out of the sky by that Sniper Rider. Written home.
Yes, it's going to be great for them, Genie. Now they've got this tactical to work with, they need to just get that going there. They find
Rainmaker?
They may find a Rainmaker! And then gonna reset just in time. Genie, I was worried there for a second. I'm like, are you going to get that pick? It matters so much, but ultimately, thankfully for them too, that Rainmaker resets, because that Genie would have been a disaster.
That would have been the textbook of disaster. Just slowly watching the Rainmaker run its way to base. That is every time somebody adds someone to a block list in solo queue. That is the #1 controller smash moment. Forgetting about the Rainmaker.
Absolutely. And now, though, look at all this space In Control Red Sun has at the moment. And right now, New Meta still needs to find a break on that first checkpoint as well. And with 2 down, they're going to be forced to back up, take those jumps out, and Red Sun just not giving them space. They don't even have the Rainmaker right now for the minute 15 remaining, but they're creating so much problems for New Meta to get. And now, one up, Genie, this could be a huge scoring moment if they could just get forward. But that pressure from that Sniper Rider forces them back for just long enough for the rest of New Meta to get back in and stop that push.
Gwen Stacy being able to stay alive and had a tactical. Those 2 things prevented In Control to have a bigger push. The tactical allowing their teammates to come back and ready in for the fight, and just them being alive with their Sniper Rider prevented In Control to go forward because they were able to land at least 1 shot down. I believe it was Nico who was carrying that Rainmaker.
Yes, Genie. And we're going to be looking here to the Rainmaker on the plat as Red Sun is going to make a move for it. Finds 2 with the Rainmaker explosion. That's going to be huge, but they're falling right into those sloshes from the bucket. Genie, 15 seconds remaining. New Meta does have control of this Rainmaker, but they've got a long way to go. They've got a checkpoint to break and then some points on top of that to make up for it. And, you know, at this point, that tacticaler becomes less significant, especially for your Rainmaker holder, because if they go down, that's game, Genie. You cannot let your Rainmaker die.
You got that extra speed though that is caused by the tacticaler, which is going to be good. You have some time ticking down here. But remember, they will get a clock refresh if they get this checkpoint, and they have to. They have to if you're new meta. They're trying to go forward. They're going to look for this right side with the Rainmaker. The Zipcaster is out trying to find their way for new meta through. But Nico, how's that Ultra Step? Can Stacy survive? No! Just a pixel edge of the thick hitbox of that Ultra Stamp able to take them out and stamp the game in control of Red Sun.
Yes, Genie. Gosh, what a incredible game there from Red Sun. Back to my crispy mic. Now my computer's back up. But just the difference, the stark difference we saw from tower control Hagglefish, where for the most of the game until Red Sun had that real big pushback, new meta just held space the entire time, and this time it really felt flipped, and it felt like in control Red Sun was the ones holding it the entire game, and new meta was really just struggling to find their footing on this map.
They did, and we saw in the game previously it was in control who's struggling to find their way. I wonder. I really wonder. It's been such a good back and forth series. If it will end here by Manta Maria Clams being just a good map for in control Red Sun, or if new meta's got that actual juice, if they've got that extra barrel of good hearty food stored in the depths below Manta Maria.
Yes, Genie. And, you know, also, I want to say, so cooler, though, on this mode, I think is just so wonderful for Clam Blitz, because you really want to keep up that map control. You want to keep up that hunt for clams. Even if you go down, being able to get back in and hold that map control where you can see all those clam spawns, really going to be great. I'm sure we're not really going to see any comp changes potentially coming out here, as it seems like both teams have been pretty comfortable with what they've been running. And it looks like, yeah, that is. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. I believe that's the Tri-Slosher being traded off for a Wiper there. And actually it's Stan on the small Wiper this time, and A actually taking control of the Splatana Stamper.
Yeah, trading Stampers around and then picking them up. We did see Stan pick up this Wiper. The Wiper before they were able to pick it up and play it on that Rainmaker game, which they dominated pretty darn well over on Undertow. So we'll see if they can rock it to the same success that they did last time. And so far so good. They've got the members down from Red Sun. Gotta watch out because Tactical Guru is up for Red Sun, meaning that they are gonna be back very quickly. He goes here, has that Ultra Stamp ready, gets one, but not able to take it any more than that.
Yes, Genie, and these fights just going down in mid so fast-paced right now. New Meta does have that Clam online ready to go, but needs to be able to find the space right there. A kind of struggling to get in with that Zipcaster and find the picks, one down on both sides. They need to find a way to kind of get control of this bunker and then the street of Red Sun if they want this push to come together. But right now, Red Sun just kind of playing a little bit further back, holding this space. They don't want to be hasty and run straight forward towards two swords.
No, they don't at all. In control, and no! It's the second swim that we've seen in that area of Manta today. It must be clean water down there, because the squids are liking it.
Yes, they are, Genie. But we've got a ball going to be jumping over there towards mid stands. Got that hammer up, trying to get a pick onto the Booyah. Doesn't quite find it until after the Booyah is out, but it looks like it may get a path there for Ninja to come in. Going to be riding that grading, but goes down before they can throw the clam. Somebody does pick it up and get that clam in, but it's just gonna be a one and done, Genie. But you know, we've seen it once tonight. You know, we've seen the single clam game. It's not a, you know, necessarily first push that you want, but nothing is out of the picture.
Yeah, a push is a push. A lead is a lead, no matter how small. I said it before, it doesn't always come true. Most of the time, it never comes true. But you know what? Let's see if the lightning strikes twice. It seems it's already struck your power once.
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't strike that twice. At least this time I have a quick solution to go to, because I did not have things nearby to handle that at the moment, but now we're all good. And right now, you know, who else is good? We got this machine sitting here pretty comfortably over this corner, pressuring with the fizzies. Got 2 down, 3 down, make that full wipe on to new meta. This is their opportunity. They need to get those clams. Beam right there. Gonna find that last clam right under the basket. Gonna get the power clam jump in as well. Push down to 60. And they've already got 2 down again on new meta. This is a great situation for Red Sun.
They absolutely dodged a bullet on the side of Red Sun. They threw their tacticooler and it fell into the water. It fell into the water, but they haven't lost anybody. And by the time they finally lose Admiral here, the tacticooler would have expired. So they dodged a massive one, because that push only would have gotten to 60 if there was any splats that came in favor of new meta. Especially when you lose your tacticooler by throwing it off the map.
For sure. Genie, now new meta has all the pressure to find a response here. Now they've got to get the lead. They are the one in a game deficit right now. If In Control Sun can hold this, they'll be your SOS champions tonight. But look at this. Stan finding a way in. That power clam, though, not quite following. Not able to get a jump in there either, but not willing to give this push up yet. We see the fight on the side there for new meta, and it looks like it's going to go down. Gwen Stacy just stuck over there without one of their frontliners to really gather space for them to move forward. And you know, as much as I've loved that pencil action tonight, probably not going to be able to charge forward themselves.
No, definitely not on a map like this at all. You just don't have those angles, but this is going to be good for new meta. Having that power clam into the basket, they need some more clams to spawn in their favor, and losing 3 people all at once is not how you want to go. Now they have another power clam, but they didn't get too much. At least they got a chunk of the penalty gone. It's something. It's something on the board, I guess.
It is something, and luckily for new meta, after you know, that last push, they do still have a pity clam online to trigger overtime as we're going here. 10 seconds left, but 2 down on new meta. Make that 3. Look at this clam economy in Control Red Sun's favor. The fight's going in Control for Red Sun's favor too. It's just not going to be enough there for new meta as that power clam breaks Genie, and that's going to be In Control Red Sun taking this game 4, and they're going to be your SOS 113 champions.
Congratulations to In Control. They've worked hard over the past few months to get to the place that they are. Red Sun getting that sponsorship under the belt, getting some new additions onto their team, and getting a strong and solid win after being the first seeded team here tonight for SOS 113. Congratulations to new meta as well for a strong showing. But yeah,
for sure, Genie. Then you know they definitely showed why they were tonight's top seed, and this gameplay was so impressive, especially against such an aggressive team like a new meta. Like, we hadn't seen the other teams be able to adapt to that kind of play style. And In Control, they had that one game where they kind of got clobbered in the first half, but they're like, hey, we're gonna take that, we're gonna learn from it, it's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, they didn't want to have that one again. They got back. They bought you not just mid-set, but mid-game, because that was only a 1-point game that they lost. They barely lost that one. But you know what? They took home the prize. They took home the victory, and they get a nice little NFT, which they can display to all their friends.
Absolutely huge congrats to Red Sun once again, and thank you all for joining us for Slumbersync. But before we go for the night, Genie, tell me, where can the great people find you?
The lovely people can find me partying my way into the tonight, probably tomorrow, at Genie7. That is GEE NIE7. I almost forgot what my name was. I've been up so long. Underscore on Twitter, no underscore on all other socials. And while I pull up the IPL calendar to tell you what's coming up on IPL, Toma, where can the lovely people find you?
Absolutely. You can find me at Crest of Gautier on Twitter or here at Twitch at twitch.tv/ttoma_. And Jeannie, tell me, what does IPL have in store for us coming up?
We have SAC this weekend, everybody. I know Bowen doesn't have a graphic, and Bowen's ditching me this weekend for SAC, the second qualifier. I help out with the tournament. I should know what time we start. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. But you know what? You can check that. You can check that on the IPL Twitter where it's posted. So, yeah, I'll be here this weekend. And do we have Proving Grounds? I couldn't see Proving Grounds. I don't think we have Proving Grounds. No.
It's not an FTIU week, so I'm pretty sure there is Proving Grounds this Friday, and
really?
SAC starts at 2, I believe. Also, staff over there. I won't be there this weekend, though. Sorry.
Ratio.
But yes, 2 great tournaments to keep an eye out that are going to be filled with, really great high-level and mid-level teams.
Yeah, but with that, I will see everybody at SAC, and Toma, thank you so much for coming out here today. I don't know. It's fun. We haven't done this in a while, so.
It's always an honor to commentate alongside you, Jeannie. You are an absolute pleasure to work with.
Thank you. And with that, everyone, I think Boeing wants to go to sleep as well, and I want to go to sleep. And everyone wants to go to sleep or do whatever they want to do, play some more games. But with that, we will let you enjoy the remainder of, especially you, Toma. Go watch that direct.
Will do, and thank you all for joining us tonight for Slumber Sync, and we hope you all have a lovely evening.